What? Welcome, Level Uppers, to another episode of It Only Does PlayStation, the Level Up Network's exclusive PlayStation podcast on once every month. I am one of your hosts, Andrew Midori. Oh, wait, I messed it up. I can't, no. Andrew, I make this show, Midori.
Well, flub.
Take two, marker.
Well, flub up.
No,
Guys,
I'm not starting over. This is it. It's on. All right. We're also joined by Dean Marchese, the Beast from the East, and, of course, Gregory Verga, my teammate, my brother.
So this is the Microsoft podcast, right?
No, you're way off there.
Yes.
This is Xbox Games with Gold, right?
Leave now.
Yes.
And forever hold your peace.
We're going to call it Pop Those Chivos.
Where did that come from?
My brain.
My brain. Yeah, Dean, have you ever seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Yes, I own that
Okay.
movie.
Because I showed Greg it one time when he was over, and I love that scene where he's like, "What's that from?" And she's like, "My brain." That's a great movie. Everybody should watch that movie. It's solid. Guys, if you don't know, It Only Does PlayStation is 4 PlayStation dedicated topics, and then we also have some fan submitted questions, as we always do. So we'll get to those as well. We got Team Eater in the room, Sweet Bomb, Evident Hair, Johnny Poolside, Italian Mob. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like what we're doing here at any point, do make sure to follow us at twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. Of course, we will shout you out if we see that notification. You can also go on our YouTube at youtube.com/levelupshow, level spelled LVL. Subscribe while you're there. This will be archived, and you can find some exclusive YouTube shows like Dean and Greg's. They're right there at the bottom of the screen. They do Power Up.
Yeah, we do that.
What is that, Dean? What is Power Up?
It's a little superhero podcast I like to do with my best friend Greg, and we talk about all things superheroes, and we talk about the
Best
best
friend?
movies.
No, that doesn't make sense to me. You guys are sworn enemies.
Yeah,
Dean and I
temporarily.
said that we have truces.
Not for Power Up. Yeah, doesn't carry over.
Power Up doesn't carry over. That's the
Doesn't
one.
carry over. That's our 2-hour break because yes, it does take us 2 hours to complete an hour show.
Greg, you're still a little bit low on mic. It's
Okay,
either
I'm
that
gonna-
you back up too far or that your mic's a little too low. Turn it up a little bit.
I'm turning it up. Turning it up.
That's good. That right there is perfect. That's what I'd like to hear. All right. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to get into the first topic of the night, which is mine. I make this show, so I start it. All right. Let's get into it. First up. Topic number 1. Oculus Rift is a very big discussion point right now all over the interwebs, Twitter, and whatnot. And it's because we've found out recently that it's going to be priced at $600. Kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's
This is
insane.
the trip, right? That's going to Mars for the first time.
No, you're way off again, Greg. Sorry. Oculus Rift is a VR competitor to PlayStation VR, which is PlayStation's VR headset coming sometime this year, probably in the middle of the year. Oculus comes out in March. At $600.
And at $600, very pricey. I don't know if you guys noticed too.
Yes.
They've been doing the commercials right now with the Samsung phones as using Oculus. It's you could put your phone in it, and that's never gonna be.
You put your phone in it.
We swear to God, it's gonna be worth it. Just try,
Yeah.
just give it a shot.
It's so weird.
So what I want to talk about here is the opportunities that this opens up for PlayStation VR. And now that we know Oculus Rift is going to be $600, are we at all concerned that PlayStation VR is going to be $400, $500, $600 more? Dean, let's start with you. I know you're the biggest opposer to VR right now. Mm-hmm. How did you feel about the announcement that it was going to be $600 for Oculus Rift?
It seems a little high.
A little bit?
I mentioned this briefly on the Level Up show. I kind of had a feeling that one of these was going to be more than people were really kind of lowballing. People are talking maybe $300, and I'm like, I don't know. It's so new, and you got to think of when consoles first became home consoles. They were a lot more expensive given the inflation rate than they are now. Mm-hmm. So I kind of had a feeling it was going to happen. Now, I'm not a huge proprietor. I like a screen and a controller personally. Yeah. Will I try this if it's affordable one day? PSVR? Absolutely. But I'm worried for everybody else because I know everyone's excited about it, and I think there's a distinct possibility that we've all been kind of missing the mark on how much this stuff's going to cost.
Right. Greg, go ahead. I see you. You're antsy.
Yeah, when am I not Nancy? Let's be honest. I don't know. I feel like PlayStation is really good and smart about their pricing. Especially now they're at the forefront, as we see with the PlayStation 4. So far, selling as the best, fastest selling console. And they already came out and admitted that they were taking like a price loss on the system software itself for this generation, and they've already made profit. So I think they're going to realize that. They already realized their mistakes with PlayStation 3 launching at $300, and they got Vita right, if you remember. When that first announced, that was $250, and I remember there was like an erupting roar from the crowd at E3 that year when they announced it. People complain about it now, but still. I think they're going to hit the mark. I think it's going to be, I would like to see 250 is where I'm feeling.
I know, right?
They could go.
But everybody online, like I saw people suggesting that, and the reception was like, you're insane if you think this is going to hit 250 for PlayStation VR. In the chat room, Ghost was saying it can't be more than the PlayStation 4. And that's my feeling as well. Like the PlayStation 4, by the time this thing comes out, might be $300. How do you release a peripheral essentially for the PS4, even though it's going to have its own computing console on the side? How can you release something that's essentially a peripheral for more expensive than the console itself? But at the same time, I was blown away. I was on NeoGAF after this Oculus announcement, and a few people were like, oh, I'm hoping PlayStation VR is 300, and I would say 75 plus, at least 75% of the room was like, no, there's no way PlayStation VR is going to be 400, 500, or even more. And I was like, are people actually going to buy it if it's that price? And then somebody said, well, you're misunderstanding. You think that PlayStation VR is for you. It's not for you. It's like, yes, it is. PlayStation VR is for me. I'm the guy that wants PlayStation VR, and I want it to be $300.
Yeah.
Like, do you think Sony realizes that? Do you think that they realize if they release this at 400 or higher, it is dead on arrival?
Go ahead, dude.
I don't know. I just wanted to ask, did they say who they think it is for, if not for you? I feel like someone like you, a dedicated PlayStation player, late 20s, like, I feel like you're the one. Like, you are the embodiment of what the market should be.
That's
like
what I would think. They're saying it's for the hardcore, first adopter that pays $600 for, new technology type person.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think that if Sony is getting into this market, I would think would be willing to take a loss in order to get market share and get mind share on this new technology. If they release at 400, this thing is not going to have any support. It's not going to have enough people buying it. It's not going to have developers that want to develop for it because of that. It doesn't make sense.
It's going to fall into the same slot that Vita did for so long. And still, it's what ended up killing the consoles. Like, if I'm going to be making something and I'm going to be investing my time and money into it, I'm going to make it for the most return investment on the product itself. I'm not going to be making something that maybe 100,000 people buy when I can make something for the PlayStation 4, which now has like somewhere in the millions. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just not logical that way. I think they're smart. I think they're going to listen to people. I think they're going to be willing to take a loss like they did with the PS4 on the software itself. On the system itself, and bundle it. Like you said, they can't release PlayStation VR at $400 and then like have the PlayStation 4 itself, the console that can do so much more than the peripheral, for less than that. It just doesn't make sense.
Okay, I think we talked about this a little bit before on the show, but what is your estimation following the $600 price point? What is your guess that PlayStation VR will launch at? What does it launch with? Does it have the Move controllers? Does it have the camera? Does it have a bundled in-game? Dean, we'll start with you. What is going to be the game plan?
That's a tough question. There are two different Sonys. I feel like anybody probably in this room who cares about the show, and I know everyone sitting here with a microphone on the show knows, there are two Sonys. It really depends on which one shows up for this thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do like the most unbelievably stupid shit, and sometimes like they've been doing in the past, couple of years since really up from the announcement up through the launch all the way up until now have been really good about what their marketing, their product, everything's been on point. So I mean, if that one shows up, I think they got to eat their costs. They got to put a camera with it, which is going to even hurt even more. that's if they want this thing to have legs and really get out there in the homes. That's the only way. That's the only way.
Granted, though, the PlayStation camera, I think you can buy that thing for like $20 now, right?
You can. It goes
You
on
can.
sale pretty frequently too. Yeah.
So I would imagine production cost wise, that thing's got to be less than $10. PlayStation Move, same thing. That thing is old technology now. It works. I mean, it works well, but I'm just saying that they've had that figured out for quite a while, and I don't think
Right.
they're changing anything about the PlayStation Move controllers that will be used with PlayStation VR.
Right. Yeah, that's
It's
totally
definitely
fair.
still going to need the camera though. So I think Dean's
Yeah.
right. I think they have to bundle in the camera. And then
Gotta
as
have
far
the
as the
camera.
game options go, I feel like the whole sizzle reel that they showed at Paris Games Week and other conferences like that, I feel like they kind of have to include all those kind of demo-y games in order to make it sellable. Kind of do
Right.
what PlayStation Vita did in the form of like Paint Park Plus, if you remember those games, or Welcome Park. Like gave a bunch of the demos that they kind of showed off on stage, but they were all free to play. I think they'd be very, very smart to do like the Until Dawn demo, to do what's the one with like the dinosaurs walking around?
That's Robinson, the Journey.
Robinson, the Journey. If they did something like that, like put a solid full game and
Yeah.
then do like a demo like Until Dawn, so it's like, oh, you can play something brand new that we've never had before, and then you can play something that's already an established franchise.
You know what
by
would be
the way-
really cool is if
Yeah.
No Man's Sky has a beta, open beta, and
Yeah.
if PlayStation VR is out at that point, have it work with the beta and to get people testing this thing out with No Man's Sky.
That would be very wise. I
Talk
think.
about a peanut butter and jelly medley. No
Yeah.
Man's Sky and VR. Like, come on, that's just
Yeah.
a
I think to Greg's point too, like to have a full game. First of all, I think you have to have a full game in some capacity
At
like,
launch.
You got it.
Yes.
You have
Yeah.
to put it in
You
the
have to.
box. And I think it would be really beneficial to them to, I mean, who knows? It's late in the game now to have just started this, but if they've taken something that we've already seen that already has critical acclaim, and they remodel it from the ground up to work with VR, one of their big hits, right? And you get PlayStation gamers put that on, they play something they've already played, but suddenly it's VR and it's an entirely different experience. They're like, holy shit! Like this is what this can be for
Right.
all games. I think that would be a really smart move, but
that's true.
something's got to be playable in there for sure.
Yeah.
The other side to this discussion that I wanted to get to is, do you believe the hype? Like, it's really, people are going nuts over VR right now. It's everywhere, whether it be Gear or Oculus or PlayStation VR. It is probably the most exciting thing from a technological standpoint in gaming this year. It's almost like the launch of a new console in a way.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance that it can live up to what the current hype levels are? Let's start with you, Greg.
It's dependent a lot on the software and not the dumb videos that we get when it launches and they're like, here's the price, and now here's a list of 42 developers that are saying that they're working on it, and then
Right.
we never see the games again. Does anybody remember BioShock Vita? That never happened. Like those videos always piss me off because like you can't tell whether or not people are backing or if they just got some like Ted Price or somebody to come on and say something, whereas they're not actually physically doing anything. So I think the software behind it, pushing it, and then the marketing, which Sony's been eons better this generation with the marketing. Commercials like for Star Wars Battlefront, for the Uncharted collection, I've seen that everywhere now. People are asking me that only play Madden and Call of Duty, like, oh, what's the whole deal with Nathan Drake? Who is that guy? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
So they're definitely, they're smart. And like Dean said, it's just a matter of which Sony steps up to the plate, and then in my opinion, what software they get to back it up. But I think this could totally be successful. I don't put this in the hyped genre like 3D was, for example. Like 3D to me was like, as soon as that launched, like I was like, this is just a hype thing. Like this is
Yeah.
not a big deal. I could
agree
go
with
see a
that.
3D movie. Like it's not like that. This is comparing it more to like standard definition televisions to HD televisions. Like this is eventually the next step in gaming.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's too soon.
I mean, if you read anybody who's been at these conventions, they all say the same thing kind of when they finally tried out Oculus or PlayStation VR, and that is, you got to try it. You don't
Yeah.
understand until you're behind this headset and you can see what it does for gaming. And to Dean's not argument, but to his worries, about wanting to have a controller and a screen, you can still have that experience. And I hope that's what we get out of PlayStation VR. I don't want all games to just be this on rails experience where you're
Yeah.
just kind of looking around. I
Agreed.
hope that they just add the functionality into every game.
Yeah.
Whether it be Call of Duty or like every first person shooter works with VR, essentially, right? Yeah. All you gotta do is add the support, make it so that you can hold a controller and also look around with your head. I don't know exactly. I'm sure there's more to it than that, obviously. But still, like, every single first-person shooter, Sony should be going to that developer and being like, hey, we'll help you out. Let's just get this thing supporting PlayStation VR for the holiday season. Tell everybody it's got 100 games coming out this holiday that will support PlayStation VR, and then of course have that exclusive catalog. And that's the ones where you just have entirely devoted to making the best of VR, whether it be rigs or whether it be an experience where it can only be done in VR, where it's, maybe it has to be on rails, I don't know necessarily, but something where it's completely different than anything you would expect in the other gameplay mechanics. You know what I mean? And Dean, for you, somebody who doesn't really have a lot of hype game-wise, what is the game? Even if it's like a fantasy, something you're making up off the top of your head right now, what is the game that is going to get you to be interested in controlling with VR?
It's hard to say. So far, everything that's been shown isn't really anything that I've been like, that's it, I gotta play this. I gotta at least try this. You know what I mean? I haven't seen it yet. Honestly, it's so typical of me, but really, if they make an experience where like an Infamous type of situation, where it's like, I haven't. Here's the thing, right? For me personally, like any kind of thing with superpowers, where I can feel like I'm there. You can feel like a hero, or you feel that kind of like power. That will get me instantly. I'm like, I have to try this. You know what I mean?
I mean, could you imagine like the feeling of floating in Infamous Second Son in VR, whether it be first person or not? Some developers actually say the third person works in VR. I don't really understand that. It seems like it has to be first person for me right now without having used it. But Infamous, imagine Infamous in first person, floating, flying, shooting electricity out of your hands. Like, that's a cool thing to imagine.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that would be like, I need to get this. But as far as just in general, like everything has been so far that kind of like welcome park kind of thing, where I'm like, I know what you're doing, like I get it, but like it doesn't look like a game. Like here's the thing, they should be able to show the game and have people like be clamoring to play it and then tell you it's for VR.
Right.
That's what's gonna do it, I think.
And Robinson kind of had that effect on me. When we saw Robinson, I was like, what the hell is this? And a game like that like, that's what I feel like VR is really, really cool for. They use Oculus, and they were testing it with a bunch of hospital patients, and they got this woman whose dream was to always go to Paris. They made, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but they made her like the city of Paris that she could experience through VR on her deathbed, essentially. Like experiences like that where you could explore a city or like go back to the prehistoric era with like cavemen and dinosaurs, like that's such a cool vibe for me. And then to put that behind a game like a Far Cry Primal or something where essentially instead of the right analog stick controlling my camera, I'm looking around and I'm throwing spears at mammoths. Like that would be insane. As far as like what game would sell it for me, it's not PlayStation, and I don't think it would ever be PlayStation.
VR porn.
Well, that. But I was gonna say, Pokemon.
That would sell me.
Looks awesome. With what Nintendo's doing with the whole watch and everything, and everywhere you go in the world, it would be a different Pokemon you can capture, and you can only get like Articuno in Egypt or something crazy like that. Like that's so cool. It like promotes travel. It promotes everything. That's such a cool experience. Such a cool way to do it.
Okay, well that's gonna wrap up the first topic there. I was hoping we could get to VR porn, but we didn't. What we did here is we didn't get any questions really this week on our Twitter. Okay. So what I did is I went on GameFAQs and I posted a topic, and I was like, hey guys, we do a PlayStation show. Does anybody want to submit their topic or discussion? Got a few troll comments, of course, and then suddenly a whole bunch of great questions floated in. Nice. This one came from the Shoveler, who said, what could Sony do to improve the PS4 both on a business and consumer side? What did Sony drop the ball on with regards to the PS4 over the past year? And he did have a little bit more to say in the comment here. He said, for instance, Microsoft's offerings with games with gold compared to Sony's PlayStation Plus free games. Both have them. Sony offered it first, then Microsoft followed suit. Microsoft has BC now, backwards compatibility, on the Xbox One for every 360 game they offered with gold. That will work with the digital versions they've given away as part of their promotion. Sony, meanwhile, has PS Now, which doesn't have quite the same draw that the 360 games have on the Xbox One. Something like that, for instance, analyze the pros and the cons of that and point out where Sony could improve and what Sony is doing right now.
Essentially, in my mind, anyway, there is no comparison between PlayStation Plus and games with gold. Xbox is trying their hardest. I give them credit for trying to attempt to do it, but as far as that field is covered, PlayStation Plus is annihilating Microsoft in that field.
Mm-hmm.
They know that they're getting brand new games that will release on PlayStation Plus first. I don't know how it makes sense. I don't know what deals they make. PlayStation becomes magical when it comes to PlayStation Plus, in my opinion.
They've had a few lacking months, I think, recently. But, I mean, just the fact that we got Resogun and Rocket League, and that's all, really, you have to say. I think those alone are enough to say, wow, like, those launched on PlayStation Plus. That's amazing.
Yeah. Infamous First Light was a PlayStation Plus, was it not? Yeah, it was, too. That's a fucking amazing
Eventually
game.
It was. Not at launch, but it
not at
eventually
launch,
was.
but an amazing game. Like, games like that they can support and come up with. Not only that, but they're still supporting PS3 and Vita every month, too, with 2 games on each console. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you get all 4 PS4 and PS Vita titles that are all cross-buy, cross-save. Everything goes together.
So how do you think that they do improve then? If you think PS Plus is where it needs to be, what do they need to improve on from a business or a consumer standpoint?
I think they kind of had it, and I'm a little upset and confused as to why it went away. They had that for, I think it was just the 1 week, if I'm not mistaken, but the vote on which game you wanted to be free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It was the week of Grow Home, and it was like zombies and mummies or something. It was like zombie pirates. Yeah, and that was like such a cool idea. I voted for Grow Home. I ended up getting Grow Home. For a system like that, that's so cool. You know what I mean? Maybe not put 3 AAA titles, but like if they're all sitting in an office somewhere and they're like, what do we make free this month? Why not give it to the fans? It makes you feel more involved in the process, and it makes you feel like even though you're not getting more for your money, it's essentially like, oh, okay, I pay $50 and I get to pick the games that I'm getting for free. Like that's such a cool deal. Yeah, cool. So if they brought that back, I would be ecstatic about it.
Outside of PlayStation Plus, Dean, forgetting that, is there something else that you feel like Sony really needs to improve upon in 2016?
I do. I think not that it's really crippling them in any capacity. I do think that the software updates could be a little more effective to just the whole UI and the whole network. I really don't understand what happened. They had this idea to streamline the PlayStation Store, and it kind of worked, but like it doesn't seem any simpler. Like you still have to scroll. So like you go to games, you scroll over, and then there's new popular featured, blah blah blah. And then once you scroll in there, like there's another submenu, and then there's another submenu. I'm like, you had a part of a great idea, and you just kind of flubbed it up. And they do that a lot with the firmware updates. And I think if they just took a little bit of extra time, like the whole situation with the folders, just more customizing. Like I think it's pretty crazy that at this point I can't just hit the share button, take a screenshot, and set it as my wallpaper.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
I don't understand how that's a difficulty at this point. It's little, but it goes a long way.
But that's the thing, is that's what's frustrating, though, right? Is it seems so simple. It's like it would take them a moment to add this in. How the hell have they still not added a search function for communities?
Yeah.
Right.
After all the complaints that they've had, and how simple it would be. It has to be simple. There's no way it wouldn't be simple. How have they not added it yet? It makes absolutely no sense to me that hasn't been added yet. And outside of that, PlayStation Now, I can't really comment too much on that. I've never used it. I heard that it works well if you have a decent connection. I know they're not going to add backwards compatibility to this thing.
Right.
And that's
Probably
just,
not.
don't even think that it could happen. Xbox has it. They did good for them. They did a great job adding that to their console.
Can I ask a question?
PlayStation is not going to back out of PlayStation Now at this point.
Sorry to interrupt you, but like, I hate the argument of backwards compatibility. I just don't get who that's catering to. Like, there are so many games to play, and unless you literally don't have a job or you don't have a life, like, I don't get how you're able to play all of these games and then still want to go back and play other games. Like, I just started Kingdom Hearts again, the original on the remaster on PS3, and like, that took up my time for 2 weeks, and I beat it 3 times, but like, that's all I could play during those 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
I'm not that audience either. I agree.
It doesn't make sense.
In part, just not to you, just to the just in general, but to the people out there who are like kind of defending that. Colin Moriarty, there was one of their PlayStation podcasts. Okay. He put it in the way, and like it's really irrefutable. Yeah. You know, the guy sometimes has his hard-headed opinions, but he said like, a movie doesn't come out and then you purchase it on VHS, and then when a DVD player comes out, you're like, why don't they give me this DVD for free? And then
so
when the
true.
Blu-ray comes out, they're like, "Why wouldn't you give me the Blu-ray for free? I already bought the
Right.
tape." Like, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. It really is.
Yeah, it's very similar. I agree with that part of the argument 100%. The PS2 Classics thing, when it comes to Colin, I wasn't quite as in agreement on, just because it seems like if we bought these PS2 Classics and PS1 Classics already on the PlayStation Store, I think we should at least get those. I understand if they add trophies and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's a different thing. That's a different game.
I like the PS2 Classics thing, and they have been adding games pretty regularly and adding trophies to them.
Yeah, almost every week, I think.
The ones that are just the ports that you could get on PS3, whether it be PS1 or PS2, if those are available on PS4, I should get those for free.
I agree.
We already bought them. That
Right.
should be
Totally.
in our library, ready to go. All right, so let's take a quick commercial break here. I'm going to go shut off that fan. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background.
I don't hear
Can't
anything.
hear it at all.
You don't hear it? Oh, I have a feeling somebody's hearing that, and it's going to bother the hell out of me. So, guys, we'll be back in 60 seconds. Hold on tight.
I'm gonna go grab my Snapple. It's on the bar.
I'm going to sit right here, guys. If anyone can hear me still or see me, I have a drink. I don't need anything. I can talk to you while this commercial is on. Can talk about whatever you want.
Got the big boy Snapple.
Ooh, what flavor?
Lemon, always.
Really? I like strawberry kiwi and I like peach.
No.
Never had lemon. I'm sorry. I'm not.
What?
I don't dislike Snapple, but I don't like. It's not something I go for when I'm in the store. I drink a lot of water mostly.
Me and you are the same. You do coffee and water. I do tea
Yes.
and water. So
I'm
iced
drinking
is
tea
like-
right now. Peach tea.
Ah, look at you. Is it from Jen's flavorful box of teas?
Her parents.
Ah.
I took a bag and brought it home because it was decaf and I needed decaf tea.
Truth, but otherwise you would be wired. Yeah, no, I'm a big iced tea fan. I don't know why, but this is really weird. I like tea both hot and cold. I only like coffee iced. It's very rare that I drink a hot coffee.
I get that. Tea can be refreshing when it's hot
Yeah.
or cold.
Yeah.
Coffee sometimes, if you get a bad cup of hot coffee, it's kind of bitter.
Yeah, and it like burns the whole time. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I like hot coffee personally. I prefer it in the morning. I usually get an iced coffee when I leave work because I'm already awake.
Yeah.
Hot coffee wakes me up for some reason.
That's very true. If it's like early morning, I feel like that's when I go for hot drinks just to wake
Yeah.
my ass up.
Right.
But usually at late afternoon, I go cold drinks.
And that's it. Welcome to the #1
Iced
and
coffee.
tea podcast.
I'm so happy. That's what we just talked about for a half an hour.
What did I miss?
We had a whole discussion on tea and coffee the
Tea and coffee.
whole time.
Well, this is not just the Tea and Coffee podcast. This is also the dedicated PlayStation podcast of the Level Up Network. It's called It Only Does PlayStation, and it's on once every month. I'm Andrew Midori. I'm joined by Dean Marchese and Greg Verga, and we're about to get into the second topic. But if you like what we're doing here at any point, don't forget, follow the channel, hit that heart button at twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. And we will, of course, shout you out. And then also youtube.com/The Level Up Show, level spelled LVO, where this will be archived, as well as the reaction time that we did on Suicide Squad earlier. And, power up Dean and Greg's
Dun, 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 dun.
comic book nerdiness show as well. All right. I think this one is yours, Greg.
Indeed it is. So for my topic this week, guys, I thought it would be fun, and I didn't realize how many were on the list itself, but I thought it would be cool if we could come up as a team of 3, kind of uniform to what we've done in the past, if you've seen us on Level Up or Power Up, and rank the PlayStation 4 exclusives that we have so far on our console here. We have the whole list up on the outline. A lot of these I played myself. There are a few I haven't. But I think the consensus between us 3 as gamers, we're even diverse.
Do we need to read them or you're going to read them to us?
I can read them to you, but we also have it on the outline too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg. Go down the list real quick. These
Just
include remasters, but they don't include PS4 console exclusives. For instance, like Don't Starve is PS4 console exclusive, but that's also on PC, so that has not been included.
Yeah, this is strictly, everybody, just games on the PlayStation 4. Nothing on Wii and PS4, PC and PlayStation 4. As long as it's on PlayStation 4 and just that's what we included here.
Yeah, I think there might be a few that are off, but...
Yeah, and then we also, I wanted to point out too, we did include the remaster versions of the game. We were going back and forth on whether or not to include it, but I figured we should because those are the best versions of those games, so why not? So I'll just read them all for you once, and then we'll discuss. So we have The Last of Us Remastered. We have Journey, Dino's favorite. Bloodborne, Flower, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection, Resogun, Axiom Verge, Final Fantasy X-10-2 Remaster, MLB The Show, Tearaway Unfolded, Helldivers, God of War 3 Remastered, Infamous Second Son, Killzone Shadowfall, Until Dawn, Little Big Planet 3, Drive Club, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, Beyond Two Souls Remastered, and The Order 1886. So we have a list of 20 titles here.
The two on the list that might be wrong. Axiom Verge might have come out on PC. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if it has yet or if it's coming out in the future. And the other one...
I think it's timed exclusivity, but as of right now, I'm pretty sure it's only...
It's Final Fantasy X-10-2 Remastered. That's also on the Vita, so I don't know if that counts.
I feel like that one counts.
I don't know. There's a few that are, blurring the line here. But these are kind of already in an order that is pretty close to what you might find on like a Metacritic as far as what they would rank them. But I have a feeling we're going to differ from that
easily.
in a lot of ways. Can we all agree that The Last of Us Remastered is the best PS4 exclusive that is the highest rated?
I want to say yes for me.
I kind of want to poke some holes in this.
Okay. I need to grab my pen. Where's my pen at?
Yes, we're going to make this official list for you guys, and this will be something we revisit, I would imagine, on this PlayStation podcast.
Now, hear me out, okay? Because I love The Last of Us.
Who does?
Right. The only reason I'm considering not having it as my number one is because it is the remastered one.
Right.
It's a PlayStation 4 exclusive, but it's remastered. It was a PS3 exclusive, so it's rehashed.
I feel dirty giving the best PS4 exclusive to a remaster.
I feel like I wouldn't.
My next pick automatically, right off the start, just to throw this out there, would be Resogun.
Yeah, that's also way up there for me. That might be like one or two. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what.
Can we all agree?
Resogun's my number one.
Resogun's going towards the top for sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to agree that it's number one. Can we all? Okay, let's do the top and the bottom. Can we all agree what is the worst PlayStation 4 exclusive?
I don't want to say this is the worst, but I've never played any of the series, but MLB The Show. I just can't speak on that.
No, definitely not the worst. That's a solid one of some of the best sports games for sure.
I want to put Helldivers down there somewhere because I feel like that game was terrible.
I heard Helldivers was great. I didn't play it though.
You didn't play it? I played it on a little bit. It was not very good.
I mean, obviously the Order 1886 is going to be pretty low, right?
I think it would have to be.
I enjoyed that game.
No, I did too, but
it's not that you don't enjoy it, but out of what we're dealing with here.
I think if I were to put some at the bottom,
okay,
it'd be the Order 1886 down there. Drive Club, I know that it's improved a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's okay,
but
though.
still, it's
it was pretty to look at, but even when they fixed it and I went through it, I was like, all right, it doesn't do anything special. It's a sim. It's a racing sim.
Right. So that's going to go pretty low. I think that's in the bottom 5. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Greg, you weren't the biggest fan,
I wasn't.
Right?
I would vote that down. Probably be my third to last. Beyond Two Souls is not that great.
Oh, you know what I missed on here? Knack.
I think we could replace maybe.
I think we should just bump everything down by one and put Knack right at the top.
I'm telling you right now, Knack is not the worst PS4 exclusive.
You know what? That is one of the things I'm proud to agree with you on. I enjoyed Knack actually.
Yes.
Question to you guys then: do we want to remove the remastered games? It'll leave us with less of a list to compile. That would take off The Last of Us, Journey, Flower, Uncharted. Final Fantasy.
Are we voting on this?
Yeah, I want to know what you guys want to do.
I move to remove the remasters. Yes.
Yeah, I think just to make this easier, I think we have to remove the remasters.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to take out those on the list, and then we'll recompile something else. So we have Journey's gone, yes.
Uncharted.
Bloodborne stays. Flower's gone. Uncharted's gone. Resogun stays. Axiom Verge, are we going to keep it?
I feel like that's not going to be exclusive much longer. I think we get rid of it.
Okay, so we'll remove that. Final Fantasy's gone. MLB The Show stays.
This is much more manageable.
Yeah, it's so much more manageable. Tearaway Unfolded, I feel like that should stay, yes.
Yeah, it should stay. That's a different game.
Helldivers stays.
Yep.
God of War 3 gone.
Yep.
Infamous Second Son stays. Killzone stays. Until Dawn stays. Little Big Planet 3 stays. Drive Club stays. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Beyond Two Souls is gone. And then The Order 1886.
Okay,
so that gives us 12
easier.
Instead of 20 to deal with.
And then we have to add Knack.
And Knack,
yes.
correct. So that's 13 altogether.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm saying right now,
Craig wrote it in all caps.
I know. I got so
It said,
excited.
I think the number one PS4 exclusive is between Resogun and, even though I haven't played it, I know it to be true, Bloodborne.
Mhm.
It's going to be Resogun or Bloodborne.
Yeah, I don't know. I
want
haven't played it, so I can't.
Yeah, so for that reason, I feel like we have to put Resogun number one.
Yeah.
I know I think I would really enjoy Bloodborne when I do finally get around to it, but Resogun, man.
Yeah.
Resogun was something special. That like,
Not to mention
Good
after
God.
updates and stuff too. Like I went back and then put even
Oh, yeah.
more hours into that game.
same.
Like, that game-
I platinumed it again on my Vita too. I couldn't be stopped.
yeah.
There was out of the launch day, they had Killzone Shadowfall. What they had Knack as well, right? And they had a new Assassin's Creed game, all of which were like, really like showing off the system's power, and I could not stop playing Resogun.
Right.
Yeah.
That game
Resogun, man.
That is a special game.
Just works out that it pops up on screen right now, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Resogun followed by Bloodborne. I think after that, I would put Infamous Second Son. Ooh, or Until Dawn.
I was actually I haven't played Until Dawn. I've watched enough of it to where I feel comfortable talking about it, though.
I want to put Until Dawn at third. I think.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think I
you
liked
should-
Until Dawn more than Infamous.
Infamous didn't have that. Not that Until Dawn is rewriting the novel or anything, but as far as story, it was more compelling, I think, even than Infamous is.
Do we put Infamous after Until Dawn?
I was just
would,
gonna say
because,
that. Mine's
yeah,
4. for Infamous,
Out of everything
yeah.
that's left,
Yeah.
I feel like we would all agree that Infamous, the gameplay was like on.
Oh, yeah, it's the
solid.
best the
And
series
the
has been
particle
gameplay
effects
wise.
too. The graphics.
Oh,
in that
yeah,
game
beautiful
are
game.
Stunning.
Really, 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 just fun at
Yeah.
its core.
Yeah, that's so true. Continuing on here, so now we have Tearaway Unfolded, MLB The Show, Helldivers, Killzone, Little Big Planet 3, Drive Club, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, The Order, and Knack. This is a tough one, guys. This is a tough one. My next vote for position number 5 is either going to be Little Big Planet 3
Yep.
or I don't know.
I would vote Little Big Planet 3. I'm the only one here that's really played that all the way through, right?
all the way through. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dean
I've
and I
only played a
messed it
handful.
up.
That game does not get enough credit. I know that it had some flaws at the beginning that needed to be patched in. I never experienced those, but I know that it had them. I liked, Little Big Planet 3 more than Killzone. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it more than New Order for sure. I haven't played Rapture.
I only played an hour of Little Big Planet 3, and I liked it more than Rapture, The Order.
I know I would like it more than Drive Club just because I'm not a racing fan. Tearaway is a tricky one. I really, really like Tearaway on Vita, but I don't feel like it's different enough
Yeah.
from the Vita version for me to
Bump it.
vote it high. I don't know.
I honestly would. My vote after Infamous would be Killzone, but I'm not gonna fight you on Little Big Planet because I haven't played near. I've maybe played 20 minutes of it tops.
Right. So could we
But
do
right
Little
after,
Big Planet
right after Little Big
5?
Planet, I would do Killzone.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Guys,
Yeah.
this is good. We're blazing.
Oh,
through
yeah.
this.
We're doing
I'm
good.
liking-
We're doing really good.
All right, so now we have left MLB, Tearaway, Helldivers, Drive Club, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, The Order, and Knack. My next vote is The Order, personally.
I think that's a little too high.
I would put
You think?
Knack well before the Order.
Yeah, I would too. I like
I
Knack
never
more
played
than the
Knack,
Order.
so I'll trust you guys on that one.
You never played it?
I never played Knack.
You might like Knack.
I feel like I would like Knack.
You like
Yeah.
Jack Dexter, and it's kind
I
of
love Jack and Daxter.
it's like that spirit if it was created today.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I like that. I can dig that. I'll trust you guys on that.
MLB
play
The
it.
Show is like a. How do we even do that? I haven't played an MLB game since like 2011.
yeah.
Last one I played.
I know
was
they're always good. I know they always get like 8s
Yeah,
and
they're great
9s.
games. I've played a handful.
Yeah. Do
That's
we just?
tough.
That's a tough one.
What do we have left? MLB.
Drive Club, MLB, Helldivers, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and The Order.
No, Tearaway as well.
Fairway.
Oh, and Tearaway.
And I feel like Tearaway would be pretty high if we actually played it.
I think seeing as how none of us, I mean, this is our list, right? So we don't have to, if we don't feel like MLB
Should we take
come before
away-
things, then I don't think we should have to.
I'm going to make a proposal, guys. I'm going to make a proposal. I say we do the top 10 PlayStation exclusives,
Mm-hmm.
so that way we cut out some. Just because none of us have played MLB, so we can't put that in our ratings.
So we're removing ones that we've all never played,
correct.
which
So
would be MLB, Bloodborne,
Well, no, I want to keep Bloodborne. I feel.
I don't think we should get rid of Blood. I feel like Bloodborne is.
Obviously,
I'm saying the ones that we
yeah.
would want to cut from our list of top 10.
Uh-huh.
So not necessarily have we all
Okay.
not played this. Like I would
Okay.
remove. Are we okay with this? So I feel like we should remove
Yeah.
out of those three: MLB, Tearaway Unfolded, and Helldivers.
None of you
That
guys
would
have played
leave us with-
Helldivers?
I played.
I
a
have
little
not.
bit of it.
No.
I know Mike did.
I played a little bit of it.
He
I
was a
wasn't-
fan. He liked it, but he's not here, so.
He's not.
But that would leave us.
Must go on.
That would leave us with the Rapture, Drive Club, the Order to sort out and sort through. If we removed, and then that would give us a top 10 too.
Did we
which I
remove
think-
Tearaway as well?
I think MLB, Tearaway, and Helldivers we should. Get rid
Okay.
of.
All right.
Yes?
I'm good with it.
Dean, you're good with it.
I am.
The deed has been done.
Okay. I would put Knack after Killzone.
I'm
Okay,
with you.
so read the list we have so far.
It's Resogun, Bloodborne, Until Dawn, Infamous, LBP3, Killzone. I would say Knack is next. I like Knack a lot.
I'm gonna trust you guys on that. You guys
I
both
think-
like that.
I think Andrew might like it a little more than me, but I like, but I like it. I thought it was good. I played it all the way
It
through.
was
I
such a
enjoyed
charming
it.
little game.
Was,
I know
you know-
charming is not your thing, Dean, but
It was beautiful though too.
yeah, it really was. It was.
That game was a sight to see, man. It was a good looking
Yeah.
game, and I love. I grew up with Nintendo, so like old school kind of like platformers and like old school like Crash Bandicoot kind of ish games. Like I was into it. I liked it.
Okay, so we're putting Knack at number 7.
So now we have the Rapture, Drive Club, and the Order. My next vote would be the Order.
Do you like you like the Order more than Rapture?
I want Rapture at the bottom. I
That's
think
your
even
least
Drive-
favorite, really?
I think even Drive Club is better than Rapture.
Wow.
Rapture didn't do it for me. It was a big disappointment. I don't know if that's just my overhype of the game.
Out of what's left, I vote the Order as well.
I think I
What?
would do the Order, Drive Club, and Rapture as my final 3.
That's not bad.
True.
Drive Club is not the worst because we've removed a lot, but it's the worst of what we're ranking here, huh? We're all not big racing fans.
But Johnny Poolside take Killzone off completely. Killzone was a good game.
Killzone was a
was
good
good.
game. I liked Killzone.
Multiplayer
And it was a beautiful
awful.
game,
The
too.
Multiplayer was okay, but the campaign was really fun.
Yeah.
And it was gorgeous.
Y'all haters.
I think I'm going to agree with you guys. I
Yeah?
think the Order, I liked, didn't love, but I
I
liked
agree.
it. Everybody's going to the Rapture. I have a feeling I would like more than you, Greg, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, that's true.
And Drive Club, I have played. I played the PlayStation Plus edition, and it's just not my cup of tea.
It's
Beautiful.
Drive Club isn't my favorite, but I appreciate racing games.
Yeah.
And that one's just a gorgeous one.
It is phenomenally gorgeous. The
Yeah.
weather effects, we can talk about it all day. The weather effects are drop dead gorgeous in that game. It
And
deserves some credit for that at least, but it's just not our cup of tea, I don't think.
I think Rapture at number 10 is not saying it's the worst game ever. It's just saying out of this list, it didn't make the cut past the other ones. I would replay all of the 9 games before I went back to the Rapture.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good with this list.
Yeah, so read out our final.
All right, so
I'm proud of
number
us.
1. Oh, we'll start at number 10 actually.
Yeah.
So number 10 is Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, right?
Sorry, not sorry.
No,
Yes.
yes, right. That's
Yep.
Then number 9 is Drive Club.
Correct.
Number 8, The Order 1886.
God rest that
Number
game.
7, the charming, beloved title Knack.
Do we add those adjectives in the
Yes, we do.
list?
I'm never.
Just read my review.
Live that down.
Actually, it's no longer on our website. It's not there anymore. But I gave Knack an 8 when it first launched on PS4, and I stand by that. I think if it released now, I'd give it like a 6.57. But at launch, I think 8 was appropriate for that game. All right. Following that, 6 is Killzone Shadowfall. Great launch title.
Yes.
Number 5, LBP3. Really solid. In my opinion, it might be the best of the Little Big Planet console games. Does not get near enough credit. I think that some people had some problems with it at launch. I didn't have those. I loved the other characters you could play as. I thought it added a lot to the game. Had amazing level design and really, really great music. Deserves to be there.
Did you play Little Big Planet Vita, Drew?
I have, and
How does that
that
stack
might
up
be the
with-
best of all of them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the Vita
Yeah.
version.
I started playing. I bought it. It was on sale for like $2 one day, so I grabbed it, and I'm only
Yeah.
like 3 levels in. Fun fact:
Really good.
I've never played a Little Big Planet game from start to finish ever.
What?
You should get around to that.
Not
And to
one.
wrap it up before the mail time here. We're right on time. Number 4, Infamous Second Son. Number 3, Until Dawn. Number 2, just because we haven't played it, we know how amazing it is, Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And number 1, launch title,
Yes.
free with PlayStation Plus, Resogun. Just
I'm
an
very happy
amazing
with this
game.
list.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
did a good job with that.
gang.
I'm so stoked to see Resogun at the top of that list.
That makes me so
deserved.
happy. I'm hoping that Housemarque can continue the strides with their next games.
Oh, I just found my topic.
For next month, I guess. If you
Whenever
could join.
it's needed, I got it.
Yeah, whenever you can join. All right, so again, GameFAQs was able to deliver on another question here. This one comes from Nihilist212. He asked, do pre-release articles, videos, reviews, and general overexposure cause people to be sick of a game before it's even released?
Yes, almost always.
Now, what is an example of that for you, Dean?
Watch Dogs.
Now, yeah, that's the one that I brought up in the topic on GameFAQs. And I thought that this could be an interesting branch to go off on as well, is Watch Dogs versus Fallout 4, a game that was announced 5 months before it was released. Now, not every game can do that, right? Fallout 4 is a different kind of beast. You know, that did not need any hype at all. It was hyped for years and years, and then it was announced, and then just people rode that hype train to the station. You know, like it didn't need the hype of, you know, review articles or pre-review articles and all that kind of stuff. How is there a certain period where you think a game should be announced before it's released? Like, what is the sweet spot?
Who are you asking? Who's fielding
Either
this
one.
one
It's
first?
Greg. Like, why don't you start? What's like
spot
the
is
sweet
a
spot?
difficult, loaded question, I feel, because this is tough for me because Everybody's Gone to the Rapture was announced. I believe it was 4 or 5 months before we saw any actual gameplay footage or anything.
Right.
It was announced previous to that. I believe it was a year and a half. And then 4 months before its actual release of the game itself, we got our first footage, we got our first soundtrack sample, blah, blah, blah. And then that game didn't end up living to the hype for me, which was weird. And that's only 4 months. But then a game like, what would be a game? Like Resident Evil 5 is a very good example. That game completely switched from its announcement to when it finally released. I don't know if you guys remember following Resident Evil 5 at all. I was a big Resident Evil fan.
I remember the whole racism thing, and
in the beginning of the game, they were very, very dark-skinned.
Yep.
There was a whole racist comment, and then the whole opening sequence of the game, they switched. There's a demo that you can still find on YouTube, and then the entire sequence is not in Resident Evil 5 that you could go out and buy today. They completely took it out. Then they differentiated the zombies with some white zombies, etc., etc., tried to get off the racism thing. But then that was a game that, like, that was announced, I think it was 3 years prior to launch. It ended up changing completely through the 3 years since its announcement. And then at the end of the day, it wasn't the best Resident Evil, but I had a hell of a lot of fun with it.
Right.
So as far as sweet spot goes, that's a very tough question. I think it just depends on the game itself.
right, I agree with that, because I'm thinking about different games right now, and there's games that they're announced way too early, and then a lot of information keeps trickling out, even though it takes forever for the game to release, you know? But then there's something like Rhyme, which was announced at the February reveal, if I remember right. So that's been a while, but we haven't gotten anything on it since.
Yeah.
So that's like a weird one. Like they shouldn't have announced it, right? They should have waited until maybe now. If this game is going to release this year, maybe in the summertime or something like that, during the summer droughts, Rhyme announced right now would probably make a lot of sense. That being said, since they didn't trickle out information and drag it all out, though, I'm not that upset about it. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with that 100%, I think. There was another game I wanted to mention in this too. Oh, The Last Guardian. We have to bring that up.
And Final Fantasy versus 13, which became 15. And especially right now, some people think that Final Fantasy 15 is getting way too much information being let out with all these active time reports monthly. They keep doing these monthly reports, and sometimes they'll do it and like there's no new information. It's just they're doing this active time report to act like it's still in the spotlight. And what they're doing is they're just like frustrating people. They're just like, just don't talk about the game or release the game or don't do this. Don't like trickle out this little bit of information little by little, because it's not going to come out until the end of the year probably. We can't do a month, every single month, this little bit of information. This is going to get
at that
super
point,
frustrating.
It's not teasing, it's torturing.
I have a very specific answer to this question.
Go ahead.
8 months.
Okay, what makes you say 8 months?
Because
Is there a specific game coming to mind?
I think if you... No. I think if they needed it, I think a whole year. I think by the time you announce a game,
Yes.
promote it, do your marketing run, maybe do the beta if you must, and then by the time you reach a year, I think it absolutely should be out. Don't talk about anything that you're not prepared to release within 1 year. I would say 8 months. I think is perfect though, because you just start getting to that point where you're like, okay, I really want to play that game, and then you think you're gonna have to wait those last 4 months or whatever, and then it's out. You got it. You good.
Yeah, that's cool. I agree with that too. Another game I wanted to bring up was fuck, I just blanked on it. Shit, I had such a good one. Drew, go with what you were going to say, and then hopefully...
I was going to read Matty F. and Matt's comment. He said, I think announcing a game too early can kill a game. Final Fantasy VII Remake announced, probably not going to be out for another few years anyways,
Right.
and they already announced a delay.
Right.
I don't believe they've announced a delay. They just announced that it's not going to be coming this year, which is not a delay. They've never, ever given a release date, so something that's doesn't have a release date can't be delayed.
Yeah, that's
You know, that being said, yeah, we have no idea when Final Fantasy VII is coming. It could be 3 years, or it could be... it could be 2017,
Right.
first episode. We don't know yet. But I do agree with you, Dean. I do think that at this point in time, with where we are at in development of games, 1 year is it. If you are announcing a game, that needs to come out within the year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
I remember
as-
the two games.
Go ahead.
Red Dead Redemption and BioShock Infinite. Two games that were talked about a hell of a lot, previewed a hell of a lot, announced way before they released, but still lived up to all the hype, all the expectations.
Yeah,
and
you're
were
right.
Two both solid games.
The Last of Us delayed 2 times.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it lived up to the hype. It doesn't always happen that way, but there are certain games that can break through that, those delays and still live up to the hype. And Ghost says Episode 8 was delayed. Yes, Star Wars Episode 8 was delayed.
Well, as E-Dog and Brad mentioned here, the Division was it until this last trailer that sort of like reignited the spark, I think, for myself personally, and I think a lot of other people seem to really enjoy that trailer. Man, I'm still kind of getting to that point where I'm like, yo, put the game out. It was announced in 2013.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. Why?
I know worse offenders,
why
but
mention
yeah.
it? That's
Yeah,
bad.
that's what
yeah.
makes me-
Oh yeah, 100%.
Another Ubisoft title, nice to mention too.
Zelda, the new HD Zelda, like
Yes.
nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, it's really weird that I don't care about that. And I have a Wii U, so I should care. But I don't.
That's the game I didn't get a Wii U at launch, right? Hardcore Nintendo kid growing up before I got into PlayStation. Didn't care for the Wii U at all at launch. And then they showed off some of the trailers for the Zelda HD, and I was like, okay, I guess I got to get this thing. And then, boy am I sorry, because now it's probably going to move on to the next console that they're going to put out. So
Yeah.
disaster.
It is a disaster. Thank you, Nihilist, for that topic. And also thank you to, who was it in the very beginning? It was The Shoveler. Those are both GameFAQs users. Thank you so much if you guys are in the room. I'm not sure.
Facts.
Yeah, really appreciate those
These
questions.
are really good questions.
Yeah.
They are. We're about to get into our trailer of the month, PlayStation trailer of the month. There wasn't like a consensus here, but I didn't want to do The Division because we just talked about it on our Sunday show. That was a great trailer. We just talked about that. It's a great trailer, but I wanted to go with something that was not talked about by you, Dean, at least. And I thought Mike was going to be here, but he's not. Yeah. But you can fill in on that, Dean. So let's get into it, guys.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love
Look
it.
at Mickey. He's such a dirty bastard. I'm obsessed with him.
Turn up the volume a little bit for the people in the crowd here.
I mean, the audio is not really like crucial, right?
No, it's in Japanese, first of all.
Oh, perfect.
No, Greg and I were talking about this. I'm a little disappointed by the character models here. I feel like I feel like I hope that they're just the quick PS2 to PS4 conversions, and they're saving the great PS4 stuff for the main game, Kingdom Hearts 3.
You could tell already Sora looks a lot different from this in the demos that they've showed of Kingdom Hearts 3 so far.
Yeah.
The only one that I think looks really, really good, and you only see the back of her head, was that shot right there.
Yeah, I agree. Aqua did look pretty cool there.
But they didn't have a PS2 model of her, so that would make sense that they had to make her a PS4 model.
Now, Greg and I talked about this in our previous trailer breakdown. We're not quite sure what all of these sigils mean. Like, Are they the houses of Slytherin? Like, what is going on here?
Well, I found out recently, Drew. I wanted to bring this up. That's why I was really excited that we got this trailer. I played all the Kingdom Hearts over again on the HD collections on PS3, and in Birth by Sleep, there's this prophecy of the Foretellers, and the Foretellers were these 5 Keyblade Masters. Who were the original Keyblade Masters, ended up teaching their pupils, and they were the ones that trained the 7 Keyblade Masters of Light.
Okay.
So the 5 Foretellers are the ones that can protect the 7 Princesses of Light, which we've seen in Kingdom Hearts 1. And now there's just a lot of speculation and concern on who the 5 Foretellers descendants are.
Interesting.
Because that's like this, I think it's called, what is the back cover X?
Yeah.
That's what that's going to be.
Dean, are you getting all this?
Fragments.
The fragmentary passage?
That might be one of the titles of the game. I was just going to say that.
See, I talked to Greg about this too. Doesn't Mickey almost in a way look better there?
That looked.
And that was PS2.
Yeah,
Or-
this is PS2 we're looking at here. I was
Yeah,
like, that
3DS
doesn't look-
actually is what we're looking at here.
Okay.
And that's the problem with, they're trying to add like 3-dimensionality and shaders to the characters for Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and 3, and I'm not sure I like it that way.
They nailed it on the PS2 with Kingdom Hearts 2, especially the graphical quality on even Kairi's detail. They merged so well with all the Disney characters, you couldn't even tell them apart.
My friends, they are my power. Such a Sora comment.
Oh my god, I love Sora. He's such a goober. The best part about Sora is he's not supposed to be a Keyblade wielder.
No, he's not.
And he's the hero of all the game stories. That's the best part.
That's so upsetting in the first Kingdom Hearts when Riku takes the sword from you. You're like,
he's
what
such a
is this shit?
He's such a master. But he was the one that Ventus passed it on to. So that's another thing that you get with this trailer is those 5 foretellers. Everyone's speculating on who they're going to be. And the only ones that had the Keyblade transference ceremony, which is how you become a Keyblade wielder from the 5 foretellers passing it on, is you have to touch one of the foretellers' Keyblades. We have Aqua, who passed hers on to Kairi, but Aqua is now in the realm of darkness, so they're speculating that she could come back as a Keyblade wielder because now you need one on each side, just like Sora and Riku are at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. So we have Sora, Riku, Kairi, and Aqua, but nobody knows if the 5th one is going to be Mickey or not, because a lot of people are speculating that Mickey might not be a chosen Keyblade wielder.
Now here, of course, is the gameplay for Kingdom Hearts 3. It looks really good, really fluid.
Yeah.
Have you seen this yet, Dean?
I have seen what they've shown in the E3 trailer. That's it.
Okay, this is something new for you then.
Do you supposed to see the lock-on?
This is where they got me in the trailer. This
Watch
what we're
this,
looking at
dude.
right here is the only reason I bought the Kingdom Hearts collection.
Did you see any of the stuff, Dean? The lock-on mechanic?
I have. I've seen all.
Oh, okay, you've seen this. Okay.
I must have looked this up online and not at E3. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful. I just love...
As I was playing the first one, I started getting like kind of hype and I started looking up videos for 3.
Love the environmental effects as you're running past grass blades with the Keyblade. They're all swishing in the wind. Still upset we didn't get a new environment with this trailer, but it's all the reused stuff from E3, different enemy types and different gameplay footage, but still the same as.
I'm okay with them holding back a lot because this is one of those games where like seeing something for the first time goes a long way.
That's so cool.
Oh my god, it's the Buzz Lightyear ride. How excited.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I love the idea, and they already confirmed this too. Nomura already said that the traditional summons are not going to be replaced by these attraction summons, that the attraction summons are just going to be used in specific worlds, and then the summons themselves, aka our Simba, our Tinkerbell from Kingdom Hearts 1, etc. Those traditional summons are going to be in there as well.
Right.
So that's awesome. You kind of get a 2 summon system in this game. Oh, dude, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm so
that's
excited.
So cool, man.
It does look so cool. Ghost Game says, since I haven't played KH, will I understand Kingdom Hearts 3?
No.
Not at
No. I'm not even going to lie to you, Ghost.
You sure won't.
Can I be honest with you, Daryl? I've played every single Kingdom Hearts and watched the cutscenes from every single one probably 12 times each now, and I still don't have any idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's quite phenomenal. How
crazy.
I
convoluted it
played
is.
through the first one and I understood it enough and I want to play the others, but like I'm just holding on to these memories of when I understood what the fuck was happening.
Right. No, it's true, man. I 2 is where it started. That's why I like 1 better than 2. Is one had such a cohesive story, and all the worlds kind of fit into that story in cool ways. And then two, it's just go from world to world, and then in between those worlds is just weird, crazy shit going on that makes no sense. It just gets out of control.
Yeah.
You didn't play any of the side stories though, right? Like you didn't play 358 over 2.
No, and I haven't played Birth by Sleep because I'm waiting for Kingdom Hearts
Birth by Sleep,
2.9.
Yeah. I hope that comes out for you guys because Birth by Sleep is the best game of the series.
A couple people asked they wanted to get them. I have them here. They have these collections.
Yeah.
And they have everything
So far, yeah.
on them.
The only
Kingdom
ones that
Hearts
isn't released that's crucial to 3 is Dream Drop Distance.
What else is on here, Greg? They have the 3D.
You have
the
Kingdom Hearts
3DS
1, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, 358 over 2. Then on the second one, you have Kingdom Hearts 2. You have
These are them.
recoded cutscenes, and then you also have Birth by Sleep.
So you can go find them. They have them at GameStop and on Amazon for like $12 a piece.
Yeah, they're like such a steal.
Yeah.
Great games, great series. One of probably my favorite video game series of all time.
I'm glad I finished it. I really am because I think I'm really going to enjoy the rest of the series.
I'm proud that you finished it.
All right, before we start topic number 3, let's take another quick 1-minute commercial break, and then we'll move on. Hold on, guys. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Drew, a question to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have Mike's question written up already?
Yes, Mike's question is in here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because like if Mike's not here, we could replace it because Dean said he had the question before, but I don't want to take away from anything you already.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I've already got like all the videos and.
That's what I figured.
shit
I just
put
wanted to
together.
double check. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah. What was your topic, Dean, that you were thinking of?
I don't know what sparked it, but I thought it would be cool to because we're talking about the HD collections.
Right.
If each of us made like if we had to make like an Andrew's like PlayStation collection, like all the games that like define like your whole PlayStation experience, like compile like a collection of games for people to go and play if they want to know like what you're all about.
Not only would
That's
that be
a really
fun
good
to
topic.
compile, but
I think that would be fun.
I would be happy to and intrigued to know all of yours.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think that would be a fun topic.
All right. Welcome back, Level Uppers, to It Only Does PlayStation. This is the Level Up Network's dedicated PlayStation podcast on once every month. I'm Andrew Midori. I'm joined by Dean Marchese and Gregory Verga.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, welcome, and don't forget to follow. If you
Yes.
are new here, if you like what we're doing, hit that
the heart
follow button or heart, yes, at twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. We'll, of course, shout you out. And we're also on YouTube. You can follow us there, subscribe, check out our archives, and Dean and Greg's exclusive YouTube show called Power Up for comic book superhero nerdiness. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so since Mike is not here and Dean is, we're going to move on to topic number 3. And Dean, I think you should read this off. Become Michael.
Okay.
Channel
That's
your inner Wolverine.
It's really tough. Okay, here we go.
Pretend you have a daughter. Pretend you have a daughter.
What does he do? What's some stuff? Give me some stuff Mike does. Okay, he says he starts saying like this. Okay, so
Oh my God.
what makes trophies seemingly more desirable to obtain than achievements? And do you think it's indicative of the type of people that play PlayStation versus Xbox?
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 Reading the question mark with it? Obviously, Mike, I think, was inspired by the recent trophy war here.
Yes. All right, I'll kick this one off. I think your achievements or your trophies, your fascination with either of the two define you as a gamer and align you with a specific console. For me personally, trophies do this thing to me that I can't explain. It's kind of like for me, my version of a guy's black book, if that makes sense.
Okay.
A guy has a black book essentially where he sleeps with a lot of girls, let's say. He gets all their phone numbers and he kind of adds them as like trophies on his shelf. That's what I get, but nobody else ever discovers it or cares about it really. That's kind of what trophies do for me. Trophies are between me and my gamer friends, which are very few and far between.
Oh shit, that's me. I didn't expect that.
Wait, what do you mean?
in the video.
In the video.
Oh, I was confused. I was bugging out for a bit. Yeah, but that's all. Wow, that was so long ago. My glove was green. That's why it's like blurred out. I forgot. But continuing on, yeah. So like, I feel like that's what it is to me. If I tell my friends, like, guys, like, I'm really close to platinum in this game. The friends that don't play video games at all, they're like, Greg, what is that? What? I don't get what that does for you. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm about to get the Final Fantasy platinum. They would have no idea. But I think the trophies do a little bit more for me personally than achievements. Because they have the platinum added onto them, achievements don't have that big accomplishment to at the end of it.
Yeah.
And especially more so with the PS4 including it, the rarity levels on trophies now.
Have they not added that to Xbox yet?
I believe they didn't. I know some websites do it, but I don't believe Microsoft shows you that on the console yet. And the rarity on the PlayStation trophies makes it that much more like, holy shit, you feel so accomplished as a gamer especially when it's a big title. Like there are games such as like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture where all the trophies are rare, but that's just because nobody bought or played that game. But then there are games like Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy where it's like 30% got through chapter 1 and then you get to chapter 2 and so forth, so on. When you get that platinum and you're in the rarity, ultra rare of like 1%ers, that's crazy. That's what I mean. My EP drops December 29.
For me, like I get satisfied when I hear the trophy ding. Like it's satisfying, but I don't think I've ever really felt like that urge where I was like, I've got to get this platinum. Like, I'm not sure it's ever really happened to me. The only ones where I get the platinums typically are Uncharted because it's so easy, in my opinion. I think Uncharted games are so easy to platinum. Yeah. So I've done all of those. The other ones I've platinumed are Infamous 2, Eco. I will say I'm proud of my Eco platinum.
Eco's a tough one.
Yeah, because beating that game in under 3 hours is a tough trophy.
And the Colossus is actually pretty tough as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not platinum Shadow of the Colossus. That one is more difficult than even Eco. What else have I platinumed?
Did you platinum Resogun?
No, I need that co-op trophy.
Resogun's an easy one.
Resogun is pretty easy.
Get that.
Yes, I figured maybe you could help me out with that at some point when you come over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do think that trophies are just more satisfying than achievements, and I agree. It's just it comes down to the ranking. I think that was really smart, and it's something that Sony was able to do because they went second. You know, Xbox had achievements first, and they were already stuck in this gamer score system, which does have points to it, so which achievements are worth more than others. But there's just something about bronze, silver, gold, platinum. It's more satisfying, and especially coming from an RPG guy, having a level up system.
Yeah,
a ranking that way.
That's the key thing right there is because on top. Well, first of all, there's more. Not that there is, but there's seemingly more of a value because when you're, I'm actually an interesting. Not to my own horn, but I'm actually an interesting person to talk about this topic because I was primarily an Xbox 360 player and I was obsessed with achievements, much like I'm obsessed with trophies now.
Right.
And it is like day and night the way it's like somebody flipped a light switch and I instantly didn't care at all about achievements because once I started actually like really getting into the the PlayStation ecosystem and I started understanding like trophies and because like they first popped and I was like probably felt the way everybody feels when they unlock an achievement. I was like, I don't care. Yeah. And then I started getting more into it and like there's a value like the bronze, the silver, the gold, and the platinum is different than having just like, yeah, sure, some achievements are worth more, but at the end of the day, it's just a big number. Yeah. It all goes towards this number. I'm like, sure, your number gets higher and then it's just a bigger number and like that's it.
Yeah.
Here is like there's levels, you get your different values you can see, and now it's even more in addictive and in depth because you can see, only 1% of the people have this trophy. I want to be in that 1%.
Right. Oh, it's my favorite.
And it's very indicative of the type of person you are for sure because there's a certain kind of brain cell that just makes you get really sucked into getting those friggin' trophies.
Now, do you think then it's as simple as trophies are just better than achievements? Or do you think, like Mike asked in the question here, are there a certain type of person, certain type of people that do just like achievements better, and is there a reason for that?
I will give achievements this.
Sure.
I've only finished one complete series and gotten all the achievement points for it, and that was Shadow Complex. It's a game that's now it's going to be coming over to PlayStation. It's my favorite Microsoft exclusive, and I'm so happy other people will be able to play it. I can't recommend the game enough. And it was like a Metroidvania style game, and it took a lot to go back and play through it, blah, blah, blah. But when I finally completed it, they have their avatars who are actual like little peoples, very similar to like the Mii's from the Wii console. And when you finished a game on Xbox, at least I know for Shadow Complex did this, I don't know if all games do this, but you got like the uniform of the character to like dress up your avatar as. So I thought that was a really cool feature. I really liked my avatar on Xbox.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I really like that feature. So if they did that with all Xbox games, I could totally see myself maybe leaning towards achievements more, but it's like Dean said, at the end of the day, you have the different tiers. It puts you on a different level from other PlayStation gamers. That it really can define and separate you from like, okay, you think you're a better gamer than I am? Okay, let's go round for round in Call of Duty, but how many games have you actually seen through and finished? How many challenges have you completed?
And to Andrew's point, like, I'm sorry, go, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that was it. That's all I had.
Oh, yeah, to answer Andrew's question, it's sure, I definitely think some of it is there's a certain type of loyalty with PlayStation fans, and I definitely think some of it's brand loyalty, and I think but yeah, I do think that the system is just more well thought out, and I think that is because they were able to look at what Microsoft was doing and be like, well, that's cool, let's take it and build.
Yeah.
And I think I just think it's just a better built system. And you know what? If they could just give you something, then it would be really demolishing completely. There would be no more, because really there's close to being no contest now. Because there's a couple, I think Maddie F and Matt mentioned, and John mentioned, they're giving you achievements for watching things now. I put on a Netflix series the other day and I got an achievement. And I was like, this is pointless. It's worthless at this point.
It's so true.
Yeah. So does that bother you? Do you think?
Yeah, because it's not. I didn't earn that. I didn't have to accomplish anything in a game. It's just you just gave me something to make this number bigger, and it increases it's not increases, but it decreases its value now. And it's like you're supposed to work for this. It's an accolade of sorts,
right?
You know, and if they could just give you something, I think it would be perfect. Like nothing huge, just like get this many gold trophies and we'll give you a free avatar or like a free theme.
Right. Well, they did kind of do that at one point, didn't they? Didn't they do the rewards club where you could you got the avatars, and remember it would say below your avatar I don't remember, it had like ranks. Do you remember this?
No, not as far as I've been.
People in the chat, do you remember this? This video. Do you remember this? When you would, this one. I can't remember. They got rid of it. It's no longer there. You would go on the PlayStation website. You would have like milestones that you would have to get to, and then you get rewards, and you could cash those in for things. It wasn't directly trophy related, but that's where
sounds so familiar.
That's where I saw it going, and they quit it, and I don't know if it was because they weren't getting good feedback or whatnot. But I agree, if they could just. That's all you gotta do is avatars, like something really, really simple, and people would go nuts.
Yeah, it would be excellent. It would be all the more. We already have a drive to be getting these things, and then you had some kind of actual, just like a little digital reward. I think it would really give people that extra edge. I know I would. That would be awesome. I'm always looking in there for new themes to get. It'd be cool. Just a little.
Can I just say that it really, really bothered me that Mike didn't put this in landscape?
Yes, me too.
Me too. I don't understand how anybody with thumbs doesn't understand that you just have to flip the phone.
I appreciate
especially knowing that like he was making a video for.
Yep.
Like, what were you thinking, Mike? Come on now.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with Team Greg on that one.
Doing
Sorry,
this for
buddy.
how long, Michael?
That's just an editing peeve purely.
Yeah. Now I guess we got to drag this topic out a little bit longer for trophies. I guess the other obvious area to go into is, what is your most proud achievement or trophy?
Oh, good question. Good lord.
What are you
for you,
most
I'm
proud of?
nominating your most proud platinum has to be Eco, because that's a very, very tough
Yeah, I am very proud of that. I was very
That's a good
specifically of the beating it in under. I don't remember if it was 2 hours or 3 hours. It might have been under 2 hours actually that you had to beat the game in. And granted, the game is really short if you know how to
I
do
think
it.
it was 2. Because I remember
pretty sure it
looking
was
at the
2,
trophy
yeah.
list, and I didn't want to play it because I got so nervous.
And I remember that I got it by like maybe 8 minutes. I think I beat it in 1 hour and 52 minutes. And you have to nail it. You have to know every little in and out of that game in order to do it. So yes, I am very proud of that Eco trophy.
Yeah,
I'm looking at my trophy list currently.
Me too. Yeah.
And I'm trying to go through here and see what I have.
It's so
Trine
long.
was a very, very hard platinum. I'm proud of that one. The original Trine is a very, very difficult one. Tomb Raider is not a difficult platinum, but you have to put in I think it's 85 hours into the multiplayer, and nobody played the multiplayer, so I ended up having to trophy boost that. Those are some shout outs for me.
Lego Marvel Superheroes is one of mine, not because it was difficult exactly, but because I was like I was in like the top 10 people to platinum it when
Oh,
it
nice.
first come out. Yeah, that was pretty.
Don't
cool.
you remember? I think it was Killzone 2 that one of the multiplayer trophies it was that you needed to be in like the top 1% of the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what the hell, man.
Yeah.
Lost Planet 2 had a trophy where you had to be ranked number 1 on the global leaderboard.
That's just
in the multiplayer.
ridiculous.
It's impossible. I think there's 2 people that have Lost Planet 2 Platinum in the world. It's a dumb idea. Heavy Rain is another shout out. Going through all those scenarios and switching up your story decisions. Very, very long platinum.
Right.
That would suck.
When you hear something annoying, I played through all of Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time, and I forgot to set it on hard, so I'm 1 gold trophy away from the
Dude,
platinum.
I'm the exact same. I have 1 trophy left in that game. It's the hard one. Oh my god, that's so funny.
I don't feel like going back and doing everything.
There are actually a few games that I am 1 trophy away from the platinum on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's I just don't have the I don't know. I don't want to go
It's
back
nasty.
in.
I wish I could reverse time and be like, just set it to hard mode, you asshole.
I know, it's so frustrating. One that I would have been really proud of if they had trophies in the game was Metal Gear Solid 4. It makes sense that like the trophies in that game would have been the medals, because that's how Metal Gear Solid works, that when you beat the game you get a certain medal depending on how you beat it. And I got the Big Boss trophy, or the Big Boss medal, in Metal Gear Solid 4, which means that you have to beat it in under, I want to say 3 hours. You have to beat Metal Gear Solid 4 in under, oh my god, is that right? It's a very short amount of time. You have to beat it in a very short amount of time. You have to do it on, I think on Extreme. You have to do it without killing anybody, without ever being seen. Even the bosses you have to tranquilize. You're not even allowed to kill the bosses. And I did it. And
God
I'm
bless.
very, very proud
that's
of
awesome.
that.
That's an awesome one. Transistor is a big shout out for me. That was just a very fun platinum to get. I loved that game. And I had no problem going. I can't believe this video. Oh, this is mine. Okay, good.
Were
I'm like,
you
wait a
trying to
second.
go for an anonymous thing here?
What do you mean?
When it first started, I thought like if you
I
put
wanted to get a V for Vendetta mask.
yes, if you had the V for Vendetta mask, Guy Fawkes, it would have been
You were
a
so like docile. He was
I
like,
know it's so
hello
opposite.
there.
Yeah, I thought it would be. So
hello.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Is it me you're looking for?
See, you know what? You know what else? Now they're really edging out the Xbox, because now when you look at your trophy list on your PS4 system, now you get that little thumbnail of when you got the trophy, and like you be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Doesn't
like,
Xbox do that as well?
Not that I've
Xbox?
seen.
when you get the achievement, lets you set like the screen, like the achievement itself as the wallpaper, but I don't think they screen grab.
Does and
Oh
you
yeah, it
can
has
go-
set screen grabs. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go and watch. You can go and watch like the replay of it. I think
Yes.
pretty
Yes,
easily,
yes.
but
No, I totally get.
I like the little thumbnail there, because you can look at it and you're like, oh yeah, I remember what I was doing there. And like it's like a little photo album of your achievements, for lack of a better word.
Right. Yeah. All right. Next submitted question from the fans. This one again came from GameFAQs. Thank you, GameFAQs, and thank you, Arc Derek, who said, "How do you feel about the current trend of game developers relying on pre-orders to forecast the success of games and ensure that people aren't buying used games?" He specifically was talking about Deus Ex: Human Revolution and how they almost had a Patreon type milestone system in place before they got rid of it, to try and really incentivize pre-orders.
Really quick before we dive into this topic,
Yeah.
Italian Mob asked who has a better trophy number: Greg, Dean, Mike, or Drew. Dean right now is at the top,
Yeah.
I believe. I'm second to him.
I'm
I believe Drew is before Mike. Yeah,
I'm
right?
third. Yeah.
And then Drew, and then Michael.
That was that was all the trophy war, man. I don't remember what I was before I started, but Greg was.
Yeah, Dean started out below me, and then
I'm not much higher than you. I think I'm like one level or so.
You're
Yeah.
on level 20, correct? Because I'm on level 19, but I'm at 98% on level 19. So I'm very close.
See, I like this app too. For
I think I'm
trophies.
level
It's all
14 or
more
15. I
addictive.
think 15 now.
Drew, really? That's good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's not
And
as
you don't
good as
even get a
it
lot of
seems,
platinums,
because
though.
the difference between 15 and 16 and so on, it becomes so big.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
at
as good as you
level-
think.
I'm going to give
Yeah,
you more
that-
credit.
when your level gets up there, it gets more difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at level 20 at 76%.
Okay, yeah, so you're like almost... You're
Almost
like,
21.
yeah, almost 21. Okay. Yeah.
So here's a question. First of all,
Yes.
do you guys pre-order games still? I think you guys do. I know,
I
Greg,
do.
you get collection.
I pre-order all the time.
I do
have
on
a
Amazon.
short-
I do.
Oh, you do Amazon, yeah. I'm a big GameStop guy. I still like going to pick it up at midnight. The GameStop by me still does midnight launches. I did it for, I have Uncharted 4 coming. I still have to go pick up my Life is Strange. I think that is releasing this Friday, the collector's edition of that. But most of the time, if you pre-order games nowadays, like if you pre-order, they'll upgrade you to like the limited or the collector's edition for no extra charge. So
Yeah.
the pre-orders for me is a big incentive on things. Especially when they're giving away statues or art books or soundtracks. Like those are all like higher notch for me. Even if the game wasn't that good, like the Order 1886, I have a Galahad statue. Not my favorite game in the world, but that was such a cool thing. I pre-ordered it.
So you're totally okay with developers using statues and soundtracks and whatnot to get people to pre-order their games.
Do it more.
I fall for that shit. I love it. I know it's most of the time it's going to be like kind of cheap, and I'm like, I don't care. I want it.
What I prefer digital at this point. I would like them to try and figure out a better way to incentivize digital pre-orders. Like maybe even if it means that I need to spend a little bit of an extra shipping cost, or that I can pre-order something and have the statue shipped to me. You know, like even if that cost me $5.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like I would like to have the opportunity to get some of these, retail exclusive pre-order bonuses.
Drew, when you say digitally, are you saying like downloading the game digitally and then sending all the extra goodies? Okay, I didn't know.
Yes, exactly. Like if I pre-order digitally Uncharted 4, they will ask for my address. Maybe they charge a shipping fee. But if I pre-order the collector's edition on PlayStation Store, they will ship those collectibles to me.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. I didn't know if you meant like Dean, because like Dean I consider digital pre-ordering because like he just does his through Amazon. But like mine is like physical in store. Like I go.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I yes, the act of my pre-order is digital, but I order the physical copy.
Yeah, like you get the physical thing.
Yeah,
that's what I just wanted to clarify.
They get them on release date. Amazon Prime does now, but occasionally, depending on the situation, if I'm not working the next day, and if it's something like Batman, I went
Batman
and grabbed it. The Batman, I went.
Batman Arkham Knights.
Batman Arkham Knights.
That was good stuff. Moobots. Greg, will you still say that your favorite collectible that you've gotten is?
Oh, what would be my
Galahad?
favorite collectible? No. Galahad's way low on the list.
Really?
As far as my collector's edition goes. I don't know if you guys remember this collector's edition. This was the craziest fucking deal that nobody I know did. GameStop had a promotion that if you pre-ordered the game as soon as Sucker Punch announced it, they would upgrade you for just pre-ordering Infamous 2 for $60 to the Ultimate Collector's Edition that had a $200 value. Nobody knew about this. I wasn't friends with people to tell them that liked video games. I felt so bad that I was the only one that knew this. But you got... Let me just list what you get in this collector's edition. You get a statue of Cole. It's everywhere now. You can buy it off eBay for like $20, but you got the Cole statue that has the amp. It's beautiful. I love that. You get the messenger bag that he wears, which is a legit.
I love clothing.
Beautiful.
Pre-order
and it
bonuses.
has the Sly Cooper logo on it, just like it does in the game.
So good.
I love that. My messenger bag, I wear it all the time to school. You got in that a whole bunch of extra costumes. You got 3 comic books that Cole has in the game. And then you got, I think it was like pins and stuff, which they also did for Second Son. But that was by far my favorite collector's edition I've gotten.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Real quick, before we move to topic 4, Dean, do you have a favorite collector's edition that you've gotten?
Oh, man. The total package. You know what? I was really partial to the Arkham Origins.
I was just going to say, that's my favorite one that you have. The Joker.
Yeah, it came with like the big giant desk and Joker's like stabbing a knife down into the desk.
Ooh, that's nice.
It's backlit. He has a bunch of like monitors behind him, and it lights up. And
as Dean's describing this, I'm biting my lower lip. I'm like,
they gave you like case files on all of the assassins, like the police.
I forgot about those two.
And then they give you like all this stuff on Batman, and they give you this as my favorite thing. I think the Wanted.
The Most Wanted.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that. It was a really cool addition.
I don't think I really have any. I think my favorite experience with a collectible edition, and I've said this before, was Legend of Zelda N64. Back when I was, like what?
You haven't gotten any of like the newer ones?
I've gotten some, but most of my favorite things I've bought like individually, like the Journey Collector's Edition statue and all my Final Fantasy stuff. Like, I don't think I've ever gotten a collector's edition that I was like that blown away by. No.
That's crazy.
Personally.
What would be the series? Final Fantasy, right? Would be the series.
The thing is about Final Fantasy, I don't think they've ever done like a statue with a Final Fantasy collector's edition. They usually do like a soundtrack and art book. stuff like that. If they did a statue,
very
I'd
big on the art.
totally be down for it. Like if they could put like the car with Final Fantasy 15, like a fully like workable car, rolls
all
around, the
the
doors
characters in
open,
it
the characters are in it. That would be amazing. I would spend like $200 on that.
Really quick before we move on to the last topic, who's getting the Uncharted 4 collector's edition with the statue and sealed bucket?
I don't think so.
I pre-ordered it. It's set in stone and paid in full.
Me too.
I don't think Kristen would be okay with it. So.
I wasn't gonna, but
No.
man, that statue is fucking cool.
The steel book is beautiful.
Yes, it
Steel
is,
books are
yeah.
like on another level for me.
All right. Topic number 4 was submitted by one of our viewers this week, since we are missing a person. And that viewer is GFN2112, who asks, if you had the proper training for the job, what PlayStation exclusive game studio would you want to work at and why?
Ooh, I like this question.
Interesting question.
Sucker Punch.
And I feel like it branch off in a lot
I
of
was
different
just gonna
directions.
say, I know Dean's.
You would say Sucker Punch?
Yeah, not just because of Infamous though, because of Sly actually as well.
Ooh.
They just seem like they're really open to like new just they want to just do they want to have fun, you know what I mean? I like that they don't take themselves too seriously. And they do seem to make gameplay a priority, which is always big with me, as we've talked about it many times. And in all the interviews I've seen there, like the people really know their shit, man. They seem like interesting dudes to have conversations
Nate Fox.
with. Yeah,
He's a good guy.
I would love to be.
But what would you want to do there? Like, what's your dream position?
Well,
Sucker
actually,
Punch?
I went to school for art, so I would love to be an art director. That would be amazing. Draw up the concepts and everything, and then see them digitally like realized. That would be a dream for sure.
Wow. How about you, Greg?
I don't know. I would love to work. Obviously, shout out to Naughty Dog as the video is playing here on the screen. I would love the chance to work with the known voice actors, and I think I would be awesome at mocap. I would love to mocap a character, just be crazy, arm flailing Greg, and I feel like I could create like the weirdest.
You'd just be the wacky inflatable arm man.
Literally, that's all I would be. I'd like send the Uncharted background, just in like the random woods. I would love Naughty Dog just because my favorite thing, to play off of what Dean said, is story. Story is something that's just out of this world incredible to me. If I had artistic talents, my company would easily be that game company. I think their style of art with each new game that they come out with, it goes above and beyond onto another level. Flow, even Flow, to harness back to that, and Journey especially. All beautiful games. Either that game company as an artist or mocap at Naughty Dog for me.
I think for me, I actually would go to Media Molecule.
Wow,
that's interesting.
They're just, in my opinion, they are the most creative of any of the PlayStation exclusive developers. They are just so freaking creative. And I think that if I were to work there, or at any of these studios, I know it's like a stressful position. I would want to be a creative director. I would want to be I want to be the creative director. I want to be the guy that comes up with the overall feel of a game. Like, what is this game going to be? And I mean that in a sense, like, I want to be like, if I was a creative director, I want to be Neil Druckmann. I want to be the guy writing the story, figuring out what this world is meant to be. I won't be like entirely hands-on with the art, but everything comes through me. Like, I'm the one who decides what this game becomes.
Yeah.
Like,
you'll make that game.
I'll make that game. Yes. Andrew, I make this game Midori is what I would become. I don't know.
Rick said in the chat room, who wrote us in on this question, Andrew would likely say mine, which he didn't. I'd love to work at Kojima Productions on their new project. Seeing him establish a new series from the ground up would be insane.
Okay, so go back to each of us. Dean, you want to be Sucker Punch. Greg, you would be either that game company or Naughty Dog?
Yep.
And I would be Media Molecule. So what is the dream game that we would be working on at each of these studios?
I want Naughty Dog space game, and I want to be a side character in that. That is just a crazy.
You don't want to be like a main character?
No. I can never pull off main characterness. I could host my own late night talk show, but I couldn't pull off a main character or like be the star actor in a series. I'd like to be like the, what's a good movie to compare myself to? I'd be like the gay friend in Scott Pilgrim, like the gay roommate. Like that's who I would be.
He's such a good character too.
I love him.
Kieran Culkin isn't. I think is who's plays that.
He was awesome in that film.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm just looking at this video right now, and I forgot how freaking great Infamous Second Son looks.
I love this game so much.
You chose a good one.
I wish I had
Dean.
more to do. Like,
You
I
both
have
played
no
First
reason
Light,
to ever
right?
go back. Oh yeah,
I'm
First
waiting
Light's
for the
even more
Trophy
beautiful.
War. I'm going to play First Light for the Trophy War.
that's a good one.
First Light is a beautiful. It's even more beautiful in my opinion. They go to different environments and stuff. They use snow in first. Oh, you're gonna love
Let
it.
me guess, Dean, what you would make at Sucker Punch.
Hit me with it.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, man. That's like my dream. I am like the way Greg Miller is vying for everyone to play Taco Master. I am boosting this idea for Sucker Punch to make Spider-Man, but specifically, I want them to do a monster called Morbius, which is the Spider-Man comic series where he fights. Yeah, he battles with this vampire. It's like a gothic kind of love story from the Morbius side, and Spider-Man is doing him. He's got to take him out.
Right.
But because of their experience, with Festival of Blood and their feeling of like open world gameplay, that's like why is it not
Dean, I never
real?
thought of that. They did Festival of
Greg,
Blood.
that's literally one of 5 things that I only think about.
I love that.
Festival of Blood was good. I liked Festival of Blood.
Yeah, it was a lot
That
of
was
fun.
a fun game. That was such a fun game, and that was a standalone too, right? They did that as
Yeah.
That was like first.
Yeah,
Light.
I like that about Sucker Punch, that they do these big standalone DLC, First Light being the other one that I haven't gotten to yet, but some people like it better than Second Son.
I like
Yeah.
First Light better than
First
Second
Light, I think you're really going to get a lot of enjoyment out of
Yeah,
Setch was
First
easily
Light.
the best character, new established. In
Yeah,
Second
I
Son.
agree.
So
Easy
I'm
Platinum too. That's a good call. That's
Yeah.
a really easy
I've thought about this, Dean.
happy.
You have.
I've done my research. I'm
It's
getting
a good
ready
one.
for this trophy war in a
While
big
we're
way.
still talking about this, Dean, what are the other 4 things you constantly think about? Just because
Well, we gotta put Jen on
Jen,
the
I
list.
was hoping, right?
I don't know.
Jen, Sucker
There's
Punch
very
making
little.
Spider-Man.
It's usually comic books in general,
Okay.
video games in general.
Yeah.
How I'm gonna get out of my job.
Okay.
Sucker Punch doing Spider-Man and Jen.
Jen.
I think I'm almost like exactly the same.
Yeah.
It'd be Kristen,
There you go.
my future child.
That's
Is
a good
definitely
call.
on my mind a lot right now. It would be video games and movies. I don't know if I want to combine them. Another one is, I hate to say this because I don't dislike my job, and especially
Yeah.
if somebody's watching right now from work. I like my job, but I
Movies are big. If we're allowed to combine, movies has got to be in there because I feel like we all have a really big appreciation for movies.
yes, I like
Especially the
movies
movie
just as much as
theater.
I like video games. I'm just as big a film buff as I am a video game buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other, I agree with you. Like, I can't help but when I'm at work and I'm daydreaming, that is it. I'm constantly daydreaming about how can I make this show happen?
Yeah,
How can
know.
I make it take off?
I know.
wish.
It is a incessant, ongoing daydream where you're like, you feel like there's an answer that you're not getting, but like
Yes.
there's really not. You just are like,
Like, what's the one video that'll?
It's
make
as
it-
bad as thinking about the lottery. It's depressing. Like, I need to
Right.
stop it because every time I think about it at work, I'm like, it's not going to happen, dude. Just give it up.
that is sad. Don't say that.
We're going to make it, guys. We're going to do this. Share the
If
show.
we don't, we'll have these memories of when we sat here for these 32 fine individuals and said,
And we poured our hearts out.
sure did.
My list.
This is it, guys. This is the last time you'll ever see
Kristen and
us.
Jen is like
Greg, turn your mic up a little bit more. It's still a little low in
It's still
comparison to
low.
everybody else.
What was I gonna say? My list instead of like a significant other because I don't
There
have
you go,
that in my
perfect.
life would be all of you in New Jersey.
That's very sweet.
So like my New
That's
Jersey
sweet.
fam, and then media covering TV. TV's really big for me too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like
When you
I'm-
move here, Greg, I really, if you move here, I should say, I really want to start Lights Up. It would be as a Wednesday night show. It would be one of
Yeah.
the weeks. We have Level Up Direct 2 weeks a month. I just want to remove one of those Level Up Directs, and I want us to go to the movies every Tuesday.
Yes.
And or Lights Up is just us discussing those 4 movies each month. The
Yeah.
4 movies that we saw in depth, going into them, and maybe like a short, like top 5 news stories of the month or something like
I
that.
love that.
I think that would be a great show
I
to
love
have for
that.
movies. So hopefully that day comes. If you guys in the
Fingers
chat room
crossed.
are interested in movies as well.
everyone message Rowan University and make sure they accept me to the school.
Yeah.
Before you guys move on, I will have to dip out a little bit early here.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
for
try to
joining
make
us,
it to
man.
more. I really like doing these. I want to try to make it to some more if
Yeah,
I
this
can.
one flowed really, really well.
I had a nice
They
time.
all do.
Thank
I
you
think
for
we
yours,
do a
too.
great job with It Only Does PlayStation.
Yeah, it was a good show. It was a really good show. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad
All
you
right,
could.
thank you. I'll catch you guys later.
See you
Bye,
later, Dean.
Dino.
Bye, everybody.
That's a Skype avatar.
I'll just I'll put
It's just a
Dean's
mustache man.
Dean's image up, and I will slide you over to the right.
To the right, to the right.
Oh, you're gonna like become huge in a second. I have a feeling.
You think?
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to like change your Skype. Let's wait for it. You're gonna become huge. There it is. He's gone, guys. Let me. I'll fix it in a moment. All right. So, Greg, you wanted to just be a mocap guy.
Yes.
That's your thing.
I feel like I would love to do like the dialogue for it too. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to embody a character though in a game. I feel like that would be such a cool experience, such a cool thing. And if I had to pick like a game to do it on, I feel like honestly, Camilla Luddington in Tomb Raider, she plays Lara Croft. I would love to do that because she's British and perfect, and I'm obsessed with her.
British and perfect, and I'm obsessed with her. I don't even know why I'm doing this. The show's pretty much done at this point, but
yeah,
let's just get you break it down. Poof,
break it down. I'm bigger than everyone.
Let's put you back in your position here.
Dean and Mike's pictures for their stand-in photos are terrifying.
I'm surprised I did that so quickly.
Yes, that was actually not that bad.
Yeah, I'm the man.
You.
I'm the man. I make the show. Okay, so if I was at Media Molecule,
yeah,
I would want to go with their current trend, create, share, play.
I feel like something like Dreams is awesome for you.
Yes, it is, but I'm trying to think of something different. I think if I were to work there, and I think that this is probably not the right way to go, but I would want to have a focus. I don't want it to be so generalized where there isn't this focus. I would want to make the greatest RPG maker ever.
Oh,
like a game designed around making RPGs.
About one genre of game.
One genre, and it's
anything
like
in the world.
As as in depth as you possibly can go, and it's not just like Japanese RPGs, like Western RPGs. Creating a full open world, a battle system, leveling up system, weapons, armor. Like I think it would be so cool.
Simplifying it.
Yeah, making it so that you the gamer could make this, and the same way that Little Big Planet and Dreams, even though they're in depth, you can figure it out. You can make amazing things in those things if you put in the time. I think it'd be so cool to give those types of tools to everybody to make my favorite genre, RPGs.
Yes, that would be awesome. I would love to make an RPG. I think I would make an RPG, but I would make mine more in the vein of Mass Effect.
I have like storylines that I've thought up over the years. For like if I were to do a Final Fantasy
film
game.
Scripts, right?
I've written film scripts before. I have one film script right now that I actually really think is pretty good. I'm actually really happy with it. It's about like 70 pages long, which means it's about an hour long if you were to make it into a film. I always wanted to do it, but I just never
Maybe one day we'll get there with our Patreon and be able to film it in production.
Should I pitch it right now with the story?
Yes, please. That would make me so
happy.
happy.
So the story is you've got the main character, played by me, of course. His name's Andrew, and he's blind. And in this not too distant future, people use a service called MemoryCast. It's like Netflix for memories. So you put on this kind of headset, almost like VR, but it also plugs into your emotions, and you can experience other people's memories, and
so
live
like Assassin's Creed Animus, mixed with like a little bit of remember.
Yeah, you just live out people's memories, whether it be going to Hawaii, going on vacation. It doesn't matter. Go skydiving. You can live out memories.
Where's the plot twist?
So MemoryCast is this like this big service. They're the Netflix of this, right? But then you have a small little service called Mind's Eye, and that is where this girl named Lily works.
Great names for companies.
She's an intern at Mind's Eye. She's a young, probably like 17, 18-year-old girl.
Who do you picture playing Lily?
I honestly have no idea. I haven't thought that far into it. I don't know.
Keep going with the story, though.
Okay, so she works at Mind's Eye, and Mind's Eye is like the remnant of what MemoryCast used to be. It's where you actually had to inject the into the brain. You had to like, it was much more intrusive. It wasn't as simple as like, this was like the early years, right, of how this memory system worked, and it was much more crude, much more outdated at this point. So she works at this dying MemoryCast service called Mind's Eye, and Andrew, the blind person, uses Mind's Eye because he knows the boss there, and the boss feels sorry for him being that he's blind and that these memories are his only way of seeing. He uses memories as a blind person as his way of feeling like he has his sight again. And he becomes addicted. He becomes so reliant on other people's memories that he forgets his own, and he can't remember his childhood. He can't remember his parents who died at a young age. And he goes in, and he's just like a hermit. He's like a really nasty curmudgeon guy. Andrew.
Duck McScrooge.
Makes sense. I mean, like, he's sad. He's depressed. He's lonely. And he goes to this mind's eye where you can clearly tell that the boss there is on wit's end because his business is failing. He's running out of money. You can tell by like the clues that it's going down.
Where are the happy parts?
He doesn't want to deal with Andrew anymore. He's fed up. Like he's helped him for so many years with all this kind of stuff, giving him memories for free. And so he sicks Lily on him. He's like, this is my intern. She's your girl now. Like, I'm done with you. It's Lily. No, because Andrew is like in his like early 30s, I want to say. And Lily's like an 18-year-old.
Oh, she's an intern, you said, right?
Now, the reason he goes in the first place and kind of attacks the boss, and the reason the boss kind of like says, I'm done with you, is that he's become especially attached to one specific person's memories to the point where he only wants that person now. And this
like
person,
in his life, like physically.
yes, the memories, he doesn't want Bermuda or anything like that. He wants one specific guy's memories, and it's this father and daughter, the memories. I'm going to pause the... I'm describing the whole movie right now. You guys can all steal this.
I'm so sold.
I'm going to pause that. So he becomes obsessed because the guy in these memories that he's watching is a father who has a young little girl, and he is, he's obviously so in love with his daughter, and he loves this feelings of love that he gets when he watches his father and daughter. But as he's been watching this guy for years now, he goes in because in the latest memory he watches, he for the first time feels extreme sadness on behalf of the father. When he looks, specifically when the father looks at the daughter, which is incredibly confusing to Andrew watching these memories. So he goes in and he's like, what is going on here? Like, I need to know what happened. You have to give me more memories, all this kind of stuff. He's obsessed with this person in the memories. So Lily is sicked on him to become his intern to help him with everything. And of course they form this relationship and they go
Kinda like father-daughter.
Well, it's kind of like a lost in translation type thing where you're not quite sure if there is a romantic feeling there or if it's more of a father-daughter type relationship. It's kind of it's not ever fully defined. So she immediately sees how much of an asshole Andrew is, but still becomes kind of invested in him and the type of person he is and wants to help him. So they kind of go on this indie adventure trying to find the final memories of this person from the dreams, from the memories, and trying to find out what happened, like with him, with his daughter, all this kind of stuff. And
this sounds incredible.
I don't want to go too much more into depth, but that is the that is the gist, and it does have a little bit of a twist ending, but
I hope one day we could make that. That would be so cool.
Bulldog Brad says, I would buy that, Drew. Oh, sorry. Let's go back to, to topic number 4, and finally, the mail time. Dear It Only Does PlayStation, what will be the biggest disappointment of 2016? What do you think was PlayStation's biggest disappointment of the past 5 years? This comes from Bass023S.
That's Brock, right?
That is Brock.
Oh, that's Brock.
Our patron, our subscriber, really big support system for our show.
Really quick before we answer this, Rick said, Nathan Drake and Elena's daughter's gay best friend, Greg, you'd be her Sully, even though you hate him. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that.
What do you think will be the biggest disappointment this year?
I don't know, Drew. This is a scary question for me because immediately coming to my mind is VR, but I don't want that to be a disappointment.
Me either.
But like, what if that ends up?
That is the most likely, I feel.
Me too. Only if like they have to nail the price point, they have to nail the software. I really think that could become the biggest disappointment for people.
Here's the thing, though. I think it's going to be a disappointment on our behalf as the gamers. But if they release this thing for $400, I guarantee you Sony has no expectations of this selling well this year.
Yeah,
they are merely doing it to get a handle on the market, to get their name out there, to get their, associated with it, their brand, and that is purely it. If they release this thing for $400 or above, they know that it's not going to sell big numbers.
You know what also came to mind, which is weird for me? I'm expecting good things, I want good things, but Uncharted 4, and I'm not just saying that because of my obsession with Elena and Drake. I'm like really nervous that they're gonna, especially with Neil and Bruce getting on this game and writing it, Amy Hennig's finally not in the running as creative director. I hope they don't lose the feel of Uncharted. Right now, it doesn't seem that way. I just don't want them to go too dark. And I know it's a Thief's End. I know it's going to be the last one of this Nathan Drake storyline that we have going here. But I'm hoping that is not a disappointment. And then finally, the last one I had in my head is The Last Guardian. how is that gonna live up to all? It's been 10 years, right?
Yeah, it's been 7 years. It's been 7 years. Personally, I don't think that it will be a disappointment. I think that's going to be exactly what people expect it to be at this point.
Okay.
I think it's going
I
to
would
be
hope.
just like Eco. It's going to have the same vibes. It's going to, maybe to a fault, but at the same time, I think that's what people are expecting. People are expecting Eco, and I think that's what it's going to deliver. And I'm going to love it. Some people might think it's too much of the same, but I think that I will really enjoy it. I think if it comes out this year, I think Horizon Zero Dawn.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't say that.
I think that it needs to be delayed into next year. And I think that it will be. I hope that it is. I think that if it comes out this year, I think it's going to disappoint.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's a really ambitious game, especially for Guerrilla, who hasn't done this kind of thing before. And I don't know.
It's weird that they're behind it, right?
It is.
I still can't associate that studio with this game for some reason. It still feels very much to me like a Sucker Punch or like a even like a old school Jack and Daxter Naughty Dog style game.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Guerrilla, but I could be wrong. I want to be pleasantly surprised by it.
Salty Prostate says, I think Division will be the biggest
Great
disappointment. GFN says it has to be darker than the others, but I do agree that it can't lose the Uncharted tone. So they're talking about Uncharted being disappointing. I don't think so. I think Uncharted is going to be great.
I hope so.
I don't think it'll be the best in the series, especially from a a critical standpoint. I don't think it's going to review as well as 2 or 3.
Yeah. I feel like it'll still be up there though, on like the 9s, the 8.5.
Yeah, I think it'll get like a 90.
Yeah,
I think it'll do better than Drake's Fortune, but worse than 2 and 3, I should say.
Yeah. 2 is still, I think, going to be my favorite in the series just because of everything that it brought to the table. Rick agrees with you. Horizon is his prediction as well, unless it gets delayed one more time.
Yeah.
I never even, that one didn't come to my brain until either of you said that. And then as far as the second part of this question, it was the biggest disappointment of the past 5 years?
Yeah, PlayStation disappointment of the last 5 years.
Honestly, for me, I have to say Vita. Just
yeah.
They just gave up, dude. And it makes me so sad because it's such a great piece of hardware. It's such a fantastic piece of hardware. And the fact that the software support just wasn't there for it. And not only from third party, because like third party is a big part of it, but Sony they could have put out some first party studio games on this. They did. And then they just stopped after launch. And it didn't make sense to me why they never did that, why they never kept to support it. So for me personally, that's definitely mine, especially because I still play mine every once in a while.
I think for me, it would probably be the entire Final Fantasy 13 series.
Yeah.
I like Final Fantasy 13, and I even like 13 too. I never played Lightning Returns. I heard it was terrible. Yeah. It wasn't what I wanted it to be, and to be honest with you, the whole now it says PS3 exclusive for 4 years, and then suddenly it going to Xbox as well, still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and makes me feel like things just kind of went wrong with that. Yeah. And it just, after that, for them to drag it out so long, it just I can't stand that they wasted so much time on that series. Push back Final Fantasy Versus 13,
Kingdom Hearts 3,
15, Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 7 remake. Like all these things got pushed back, and they're finally now just getting into their groove with all these return to old franchises and return to form just in general. Project Setsuna, World of Final Fantasy, just all these different things that are coming.
Oh,
from
I forgot
Enix.
About that one. That one looks really good.
Yeah,
that's
so
a Vita title, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that we're getting back to the classic Square Enix as far as I can tell, but it's always going to bother me that we lost years.
Why did they ever announce why? Because Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out for Xbox too, correct?
It is, yeah.
Why is that the case?
Why is it coming to Xbox?
Yeah, I feel not that I guess jealous would be the word I would describe it as. Like, this was my series for so long. It just feels weird that they would.
I think it's just the production value, the cost, the budget of games now, and the fact that they never announced it as exclusive to PS4 left them open to do it. I personally think that it's going to sell terribly on Xbox.
Because they don't have any reference to it. They haven't even been getting the collection.
It's just not where the fan base is, period.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. Even Kingdom Hearts 2.5, 1.5, 2.8, PS3, PS4, that's where they're going, and that's where people are going to get those, and that's where people are going to be reminded of the series and remember the series. And
Xbox is very much Americanized gamers. It's not like a Japanese RPG machine.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge failure in Xbox, so much so that you might not see Final Fantasy VII Remake ever go to Xbox, even if they might be considering it now. But I think if Kingdom Hearts 3 does as bad as I think that it will on Xbox, I think that that's going to scrub any idea from Square Enix's mind to put Final Fantasy VII Remake on Xbox.
I agree.
And yeah, thank you GFN and Baz023S for the final questions of the night. We got a lot of fan submitted questions. Thank you GameFAQs for 3 of the fan submitted questions tonight. If any of you are in the room, we really appreciate those. It's just the 2 of us now. Team Greg.
Yeah. We planned it this way.
Yeah, guys.
It only does Team Greg, the new podcast.
And don't forget, we are pretty much wrapping up this week and getting to the start of the Trophy War, so you need to choose your team now if you haven't yet. I think by Sunday. So go to the Google form. It's been posted in the chat room, I think, throughout the night. Choose your team. It doesn't have to be us. We're pushing ourselves right now, but yeah, please choose whoever you feel like you want to be with. Team Beast won last year, but I can tell you right now, Team Greg is fully ready.
Our solidarity, our integrity is on the line here. We're coming at this one full throttle.
We are so fueled.
Yes.
Ready to go.
And if you guys want, like Drew said, don't take our word for it. We have campaign videos that we just launched on our YouTube, so you can go and check those out too. Kind of in the vein of presidential style debates that we've been
People
doing.
are kind of getting on us for being kind and fun-loving, but we don't have any ill will against Team Beast. We will beat them. We know that because we're very confident in our game plan and how hard we're going to work. But we're not gonna sling mud.
Yeah, I can't throw dirty, slandering comments at the opponents. That's just not the way we work. Over.
Not going to call people baby killers or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't. No. Dean, I don't think was ever a child murderer. Neither was I. No. Just to state that.
just to make it clear. Just to clarify. Just to make it clear. Just in case this video goes viral. Yep. And suddenly everybody in the world thinks Greg is a baby murderer.
I never get a job again because of the video.
Yeah. Strife Girl, the last day I think will be Sunday because the Trophy War starts on Monday.
Yep. If you have to have it submitted by the end of the Level Up show Sunday. So Mel, if you want to tell us that day and then sign up for the sheet and everything. But like I said, you can look for Dean's campaign video. We're filming this tonight on a Wednesday, so you can look for his campaign video on Thursday tomorrow. And then also I have a special surprise coming for you guys. It was one of my punishments from season 1 that I'll be dropping either Friday or Saturday.
Very nice. Nine Fox says this is a war team, Greg, not a tickle fight. Here's the thing: when did a trophy war have to become so antagonistic? We're not going to battle with guns and swords here. We're earning trophies, and all that's happening here with all of the mudslinging is just fueling our fire. I honestly don't get why people think there has to be some really.
The best part about the whole situation is Mike and Dean and all the members of Team Beast. You guys have been making YouTube videos now. I love them all. Thank you guys for doing it. Thank you guys for being so involved this year. But all it is just, like Drew said, you're just putting more logs in our fire pit. You're not doing anything else except that.
We're so excited because
I'm so pumped.
We're just so ready to work our asses off this year and win this thing. So so we're excited, and we're gonna earn you guys the XP you deserve if you chose our team. So choose whichever side you want.
Side with the team of love.
But if you choose our side, we promise you that we're gonna work very, very hard to get you the XP you deserve. All right, and that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. The 31 people in the room. Don't forget to follow the show. That if you are new, hit that heart button on twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. We're also on Twitter at The Level Up Network, level spelled LVL. You can go on our YouTube at youtube.com/The Level Up Show, level spelled LVL. Subscribe while you're there. Check out our archives. This will go on there. And don't forget that Greg and Dean do a really cool show to show how much that they love each other outside the Trophy War. It's called Power Up. It's about comic books and superheroes.
Superhero lovely nerdiness, guys. Be sure to check it out.
On every week. Saturdays if you're not a patron. But if you want it early, the best way to support our network is Patreon at patreon.com/The Level Up Network. Donate just $1 or more per month and you get early access like Bass023S just did with his $10 patronage. Really, really appreciate that, Brock. You're awesome. And don't forget that if we get to $100 total on our Patreon, we are going to be doing a new lip sync battle tournament. And it's going to be even better than the last one.
Oh my god, the last one was so good.
And I guess that's it, Greg. I'm so glad that you were here tonight.
Yeah, I'm so happy. This was such a fun show tonight. I was hyper for it. All the topics were great. Thank you once again, GameFAQs. If anybody is in the room from it, art us, tweet out to us. Let us know if you watched the show because your questions were awesome. And if you couldn't tell, we love doing this show and we try so hard at doing it and we want it to become a thing. Yeah. This is our life, our dream. So share the show. Do whatever you can to spread the Level Up Network, the Level Up Show, and help us grow and build a better community, a bigger and
better community. We already have an amazing community. So we would appreciate any help we can get.
Tell them how crazy we are and how you love us for our craziness.
Yes, exactly.
We can only grow from here.
I will not be on tomorrow with Level Up Quick Play. I'm going out with Mike and my buddy Pat. We're gonna get a drink. I haven't seen Pat in a really long time. There's a chance that if Kristen goes to bed early or whatnot, I might finish off Life is Strange late tomorrow night, but I will not be on at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so don't expect that. But of course, we'll be on Sunday with the Level Up show.
Saturday you can catch your power up too if you're on the YouTube spheres.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see you all then. Until next time, guys, take care, and as always, don't forget to level up.
Wait!
Oh my God!
Bro!
I'm sorry.
Bro!
I'm off because it's just the two of us.
I know, count us
but
down.
we can still do it.
Count us down.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. PlayStation. See you guys. So long.